1 minute. T-minus 50 seconds. T-minus 40 seconds. T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Holy hell, my bad, y'all. I'm having one of those days, y'all. So, how y'all doing today? I know this is usually earlier than I get going, but, you know, there's too much going on this evening for me not to. Hi, Jericho. How you doing? It's good to see everybody. So, okay. Normally I would, and I did originally schedule this for 8:30 p.m., but the fact is I moved it up simply because, number one, Hannibal is going to be going live in a little bit, and two, Frenchie is going to be live in about 30. So worst case scenario, those of you guys that want to catch Frenchie can hang with me temporarily and vice versa. And those of you that don't can just stay here. You know what I mean? So let's run down the list here. Bridge, the only reason you're on time, love, is because I changed the time. You know, I got a little caught up in some stuff, you know, so I was like, let me just bump this forward. So yeah. Hey, Gaining Gerd, how you doing? My darling Abby, how are you? You saw your homegirl just ran by here. It's been one of those days, y'all. So when I say that, you know, I practically killed myself carrying stuff out to the garage earlier. An esthetician canceled my thing for tomorrow because apparently she has the flu, including fever and body aches and sweats and all that great and wonderful stuff. So I took a vacation for technically no reason, you know, I guess. So because, yeah, shit happens. Anyway. So I figured with the little bit of stuff that's gone on over the last couple of days, because it has been a little bit since the last time I did a live, I figured that we would just talk about whatever. You know, I've got a little bit of ALR. I've got a little bit of Foodie. I got a little bit of Richard Grandin. We got some Twitter stuff that I will, of course, be showing you guys not people's actual tweets, but images that are used that have been stolen from other places and uploaded by people onto Twitter. Now, I understand outright that I have a stance on this Twitter thing, but I actually will be giving credit where it is due. And I have and will continue to ask for permission to use people's items as I use them, because, you know, that's just good practice, if you know what I mean. So where do we start? Hell with it. Let's start with the Twitter stuff here real quick. So Vampira posted this, and I am going to show this to you guys. Screen 2. So this was a side-by-side image that Vampira posted saying, you know, is it me or does his wedding ring look completely different than when they were first married on November the 6th? And I pointed this out to her. This ring right here looks to be a steel band with a singular little notch line through it that's kind of off center toward the end of the finger, versus what looks to be maybe a sterling silver or a white gold here with diamond inlay. Two completely different rings, which, from there, of course, that leads into speculation as to what happened to the rings, y'all. What happened to the rings? Did we pawn them? Because we know Foodie didn't lose hers in no airport bathroom. We know this. Well, you know what I mean. White, not necessarily gold, but white gold. It does or silver. Some people do wear white gold in place of silver sometimes, but that's not what I was implying. Just gave the appearance of white gold, but that's just me. Now, then we got Foodie's ring that she's made such a huge ordeal out of, and here it is on Dragon Mart for for AED of 9 with US conversion of $2.50. Where's your ring? So I thought that was funny that somebody apparently tracked this down. Tell us how much he loves you, Foodie. Just saying, I couldn't help myself. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. I laughed. I got me a good laugh out of it, All right, and then the last one on that illustrious bouquet note that we saw, that we will see again in just a little bit when we start getting into these videos. Here we are. Here's the note where it says Sala and Chantal. Okay. And then here's a part of the food pyramid that she created from eating from one of her bad videos that she hand drew. Okay. The AN in Chantal and the AN in Plant both look the same. Thanks to Katie Sanders for reposting that from the ever so illustrious Kiwi farmers, always producing the crops, my guys and gals. So yeah, that's me. I thought that was really funny because, I have a feeling she's going to try to make the claim that the note was written the way it was because his English is bad. But here we are, and we've got some sort of designation here that shows that this is her handwriting. Not only that, but, at one point, it's the end. It is exact, even right down the last little swoop on the end of that little leg there. Well, and then add to it, when FFG was going over this video originally of the anniversary stream, FFG pulled on Shannon as a resource because obviously Shannon has seen Chantal's handwriting in some, perpetuity, ongoing exposure. And Shannon confirmed that it's her handwriting, so here we are. And this is the reason why I said that, there's a lot of acting going on here, and how it is that they think that they're fooling anybody is beyond me at this point. And I hear JB has brung my name up yet again. But I will say this, I meant what I said in my video from earlier today. I ain't wasting no time on her foolishness unless she actually wants to stop and sit down and have a real discussion about the points that I made in the video that I put up. Other than that, I don't respond to shade from trees that bear no fruit. And that's really all I'm going to say about all that, because, just ain't worth the time, But I will say this. I'm kind of looking forward to FFG fucking her up. That's just me, though. I'm a little bit of an asshole that way. So let's see. Oh, Jesus, Lord Almighty. Okay, so I know some of you guys are in here. Oh, excuse me. From the Gaining Grounds end, from Yo Mama's end. I will tell you, and I did admit it in the chat the other night, I do discuss the girls. I do not go in on the fat shaming. I do not nitpick like a lot of people probably do, but I do address things that they do that makes me ask questions, that makes me feel the need to point some things out about what they're saying, what they're doing, their thought process, whatever. So we gonna do this. We're gonna do this thing. I know. And we're gonna bump this.
Obviously, I'm gonna skip over things I either A, don't want to talk about, things I feel like that are like too disrespectful for me, or like repeat questions, but I'm just gonna start from the top and work my way down.
Now, this is one of the things that actually causes ALR's audience to have a problem with her, and a lot of people out in girl world to have an issue with her. Don't say, ask me anything. Is there anything you want me to talk about? And then conveniently just say, I'm not going to answer X, Y, and Z. Okay. If you're going to be transparent, then be transparent. Okay. That's just the way it goes. You can say, I'm only going to talk about what I want to talk about. I'll answer what I want to answer when I feel like answering it, but don't invite the opportunity and then pull the rug out from under people, you know? She would try to be happy there. Well, that falls under that whole scenario of, you know, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink mouse toes. AJ, good to see you, darling. That's okay, baby. You can swing back through whenever you're able. No rush. And you know, it's always going to be up for the replay if you can't make it back. Okay. Hope you have a good time at work, hon.
Why are you suddenly no longer complaining about any of your multiple health issues that were always causing you to be set back, or your mental health problems that you felt the need to feel to use as a crutch every day suddenly healed from everything? But before I answer that, I just want to say that's really sad that like when people are vocal about their like mental health or physical stuff, that people say, oh, you're using that as a crutch. When it's like when things are too late or things have gone too far or you are too far gone, people are like, oh, you should have spoke up. You should have said something. And it's like, I am very much that person that I do speak up. I do say something. But I've noticed I have taken a lot of steps back in that regard because I am feeling constantly judged. I am feeling like people think that I do use it as a crutch or an excuse. So I think that's the reason why that I'm not talking about those things anymore, because like even in this person's question, they said like, why are you no longer complaining about these things? I never feel like I'm coming from a complaining spot. The response that I receive doesn't help me. It actually makes me feel worse. Have you noticed them?
Okay, I think, okay, first off, I don't know what it is about her and about Foodie that seems to think that with every video they've got a brand new audience. But for anybody that's been around for a little while, they can pretty much acknowledge that the behavior that has been pointed out to them is the behavior that they exhibit. If it were not so, that question would not even be necessary to ask. You know, we've seen it time and again. I can't lose weight because of lipedema and lymphedema. And I can guarantee you that is not the case. That is actually how you manage those two particular issues, is through your diet and exercise. So that's really not a viable excuse for me, especially when you've got somebody like Glitter and Lasers who's dropped a ton of weight with lipedema and lymphedema, but she's doing it. The difference between Glitter and Lasers and Miss Ambular here is the fact that Glitter and Lasers is actually putting in the work. No offense to Amber. We already know, we have figured this out about her. She is the type that if she says, oh, well, I'm going to do Weight Watchers, it's almost like she expects to lose that 200 plus pounds that she has designated as her goal weight almost overnight. It doesn't work that way. You have to be doing more than just setting your mind to it. You actually have to get up and follow through. And that's where her problem is the follow through. Now, as to the using it as a crutch, I do believe that she does. She uses pretty much everything that she has as a crutch, because how often do we hear my mentals, my mentals, my mentals? Everybody out here in the great wide world, some of you watching this right now included, have mentals that affect you, myself included. But do you know what? I get my butt up every day and I tend to my business. I go to work. I deal with life. You cannot shut yourself off from the world and doing what needs to be done simply because of your mental health issues. That's just not the way that it goes. I mean, if you're not going to do something, then you might as well go ahead and dig a grave and climb into it right now. Because technically, and I understand your position on it, Mouse Toes, and yes, her apartment is very bright. It is very airy, and that's great. But at this point for her, it is pretty much a tomb, which is sad. Because she could have already made the steps to make change and to be happier and to be healthy years ago. And it's very distressing to have to watch that.
Improvement in your health overall. Yeah, I do notice improvement in my health, and I'm going to come from like my stamina area type situation. The only people who knew were the people that I lived with.
Boo-boo, everybody watching your channel knew about your issues. You sat there and rebuked all those questions in the name of Jesus, baby Allah, and this giant spaghetti monster in the sky. You rebuked it over and over and over again until Becky dumped you on your head and you needed something else to divert some attention. Then you admitted to having those problems. We've been new. We seen it. Okay, this is not a surprise. Again, it is the same thing, trying to rewrite history like we ain't been here.
Science Museum is a really good example of that.
And I pointed that out in the last live that we did that actually included that is probably the most walking that we have seen her do in one go in a good long while. And I am actually happy that she did. Because something's got to give. I mean, and I've said it many, many times before, there ain't nothing cute about watching somebody eat themselves to death and be in denial about it and fight back against it. There just ain't. I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. She was maybe not physically abusive, but she was mentally and emotionally abusive toward Becky. There's no question about that. Yeah, well, I mean, God's honest truth, I don't know. I mean, they were probably running neck and neck on that, but I really don't know. It's really hard to say. But, if we want to get right down to it, Foodie will die before she ever changes, which is sad.
I remember feeling like I'm never going to change. I remember feeling like this is how my life is always going to be. Now that it's been, 4 years since then? That person in 2019, she doesn't exist. Like the mentality I had, who I was on YouTube, she doesn't exist anymore. Because here I am living on my own where I need zero help.
Honey, you living on your own because you didn't find another girl prior to moving. Let's please just call it what it is. This is the stuff about ALR and Foodie that irks me to no end about the two of them, is the lack of honesty. If you can't be honest, then it sort of defeats the purpose of even opening your mouth. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the fact is that there's plenty of stuff that you can't do on your own without help. There's plenty of stuff that you're terrified about that that you would not be able to deal with on your own. You know this, ALR. Come on now. Well, I mean, I'm gonna say this, Kristen, God's honest truth. I mean, not trying to be ugly, but there is nothing. I feel that way about any loss of life, even for the most disgusting of human beings. You know what I'm saying? I would make few exceptions to that. I think that's a pretty distinct possibility. Right, Rebecca, exactly. Nutty, how are you, my darling? It's good to see you. No way she can say. Right. How's she gonna change a light bulb? How's she gonna move any of her furniture? There's you can't tell me that old girl ain't having trouble putting them shoes on. What's up, Meg? How are you, darling? It's good to see you. True enough, true enough. All right, let's continue.
Next question is, are you in pain going out too much? No, I'm not in pain, but like obviously I do have lymphedema and lymphedema. So by moving more, I do swell more. So that is the part that does suck a lot. That's one thing that my body can't get used to.
Pumpkin, your body is not designed to carry around 500 pounds. And I can speak to that simply because, I mean, here I am after being between 175 and 180 pounds for almost 25 years. I gained 60 pounds and all of my damn joints from my hips down hurt. There ain't no way in the Sam hell that you're carrying around 500 pounds and your back and your knees and your hips and your feet ain't screaming at you. It is physically impossible. And it ain't got nothing to do with the lipedema or the lymphedema. I'm talking about specifically your musculoskeletal system. I swear, this young lady right here has it in her mind that her body, her genetics are from some great distant planet that the world has never seen before. Boo, every human body walking this planet for the most part is the same, unless there is some sort of abnormality involved. Good gracious. Amber, how you doing, darling? It's good to see you. I'm so glad you made it. Okay, I'm about to go on my last walk of the day, ready for the work day. Oh, girl, I understand. Girl, I passed 200 and my feelings was so hurt because I got a thing about that anyway. And then my clothes didn't quit fitting right. I was mad. I was big mad, real talk. I'm at 175 now. Yes. See, and somebody tell this girl that at 500 pounds that this is just not even a possibility. Hey, cowboy dog. Good to see you, love. It's been a little bit. Okay, lymphedema. So your lymphatic system kind of runs through your entire body almost the same way as the vasculature does. Your veins and your arteries and all of that stuff obviously kind of branches out from the center of the body out to the tips of the fingers and toes. And it actually cycles lymph, which carries a lot of your fighting cells that helps you to ward off infection. And you can look at those lymph cells kind of like a little avenue here. And there's little flaps that open that kind of let that lymph pass through. Now, when you get past a certain size, there's so much compression on that area that those little flaps inside those lymph vessels, they can't open all the way or correctly, which causes the lymph to get backed up. And what happens is they leak from the lymph system into the surrounding tissue, which would be the fat in the limbs usually. And that's what produces the swelling. And that's part of why it is when she's upright or she's sitting for long periods of time that she has that swelling. Your body, because of gravity, has to work a little harder to get all of that back to the center of the body, the lymph, the blood, you name it. And That, of course, is going to cause discomfort because the more fluid buildup that's there, the tighter the tissue gets, and it's uncomfortable. So, yeah. Oh, look at this. Look at this. See, and look at this one. Stole my thunder. I was just fixing to say that. But hey, me and Bridge, we on a wavelength here. Me and her understand each other. It's almost over. You can write it out, cowboy. I got faith in you, darling. I didn't decide it was time to lose weight when I woke up and everything hurt. I had always lied to myself that I was good. Nope, boy, I was wrong. Yeah, hey, girl, believe me, do I get that nutty? Because I was the same way. It took a long time for me to get to that point where I was like, okay, something's got to give here. Because like as a big girl, I played basketball, I ran, I hiked, I was on my feet. I was wide the hell open because I was still a young person, and I was just like, you know what? This is no big deal, whatever. And now, after all this time and all that weight loss, I have arthritis because of the damage that I've done to my joints, trying to be 350 pounds and playing basketball and acting a fool. So, I mean, even if by some freak occurrence, old girl actually did lose weight, she gonna have joint pain for the rest of her life, Oh, that is no problem. No problem at all. I don't mind. And actually, I really kind of enjoy teaching you guys because like this one, I'm perfectly healthy, you guys. And Foodie's doing the same thing. Oh, I'm healthy. Everything's fine. No, it's not fine. I don't want these girls to have the ability to manipulate and snow people, I don't do well with dishonesty, especially when it comes to shit that we know cannot absolutely be truthful. That's like her in this whole, oh, well, in 2019, I had all these problems, but all the way through 2019, I'm fine, you guys. You're just fat phobic. Nah, heifer, you just a liar. That's the part about these ladies that bothers me more than anything. And that's part of why I discuss those things. Well, okay, obviously it will make their feet very swollen, but it does not necessarily make them crusty. You do see a lot of scaly skin, especially on the feet and on the lower limbs. That's usually from diabetes. So exactly the exact same problem that I have with the fat acceptance movement. If you want to feel beautiful at every size, that's fine. You feel beautiful. If you like your 500-pound body, you say that, you live your truth, do you. But don't be trying to blow smoke up my ass telling me that you're healthy at 500 pounds. It is physically impossible. Same, I thought I was getting old and that I was destined to just be big. That all changed when I dreamed of being smaller and having pain and sleep problems. Yep. It is not confirmed, Tink Frog. Good to see you. But there are symptoms that ALR has. She has darkening of the knuckles on the back of the hand. She's had darkening in the folds at the base of her neck. Another thing that she exhibits is she has decreased wound healing. If you'll notice, like, she has that thing where she picks, and it takes forever for those spots to heal. And that right there, that's pretty indicative of a blood sugar issue. So she's not been formally diagnosed that we are aware of, because she wouldn't tell us even if she were, but based on the things that I see, the likelihood that she's diabetic is pretty high. Like I said, at 500 pounds, I mean, I would be fucking shocked if she's not. So, oh, yeah. See, that's part of the reason why there's a lot of shit going on with people once they get past a certain weight size. Foodie, ALR, and all those people on 600-pound life, man, they are all running on borrowed time, and it is sad. Oh yeah, absolutely not, Tink Frog. Not good at all for any of them. Oh no, hang on. Sorry, y'all. I'm burning up. I think I had me a flash because I'm sweating all of a sudden. That's just wrong on so many levels. Well, I mean, obviously having some sort of hygiene standard is important, but think about this now. We done already established that Foodie for show has admitted that she can't reach her feet, and she's a lot smaller than ALR, so ALR ain't washing her feet. You know what I mean? Come on now. Both these ladies have probably not touched their toes and I don't know how long. I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Helene ghosted you. Okay, so the answer is no. But I really hurt her after we broke up by falling in love with someone else. I obviously just could not control falling in love with someone else, and it made it to where she doesn't even want to continue being my friend. Then, almost daily, I would text her, I love you, I miss you, because I just felt like I needed her to know. Talked it over with a friend, and they said, I think it's time that you just, respect her and stop contacting her, and it's been really hard. A whole other level of torture because I miss her so much. And I know a lot of people think that, I'm going to come on here and say bad things about her. Not going to happen. Do you think it's wise?
Well, God bless you. Maybe when I grow up one day, that'll be what I choose to do. I was actually considering that because once, some of you guys are new. I made the decision really recently to reapply for college so that I could branch up to my bachelor's degree. And maybe that'll be in the future for me. I'm not really trying to stay into the nursing side of things. I'm trying to move more toward the administration end because, as a nurse, you can only do so much for the people that are at your hands. You have that specific time frame with each of those people that you work with, your patient load. Whereas as an administrator, I can set a standard of care for everybody in the building that I cover, So that's one of those things that, I kind of keep in mind because I do love, don't get me wrong, I love what I do, but I see a lot of issues from continuity of care from one nurse to the next. And I'm not really good with that, especially when we're talking about the elderly, which is mostly what I'm going to be, mostly what my avenue is going to be once I get through and I get my administrative degree. So, have fun on your walk, girls. Study strength. You gonna sit here and listen to me cuss the whole way through? I'm gonna tell you the God's honest truth. Some classes I'm okay with, but I'll tell you what my problem is. My problem is the maths. I will cuss like a sailor on shore leave the entire way through trying to work some math. I am awful at it. So I'm actually looking to branch up into healthcare administration so that I can actually manage nursing homes, assisted livings, and stuff like that. Got more physical longevity involved for somebody like me. I'm not getting any younger. I've been a nurse 25 years, so got to start planning ahead. I can do a job as an administrator until I'm 90 if I want to, and I love working with people, but this allows me to continue to be involved in the patient care without having to rip and run hallways and jump up and down on people when they code and, push med carts around and stupid stuff like that. So, trying to do this the smart way, Thank you, Tink. That's so nice to know. I really do. I have people tell me all the time that they enjoy working with me because, and I've said this to people who feel a kind of way about things some of the time. Like when I ask them to do things, I'm like, look, I would never ask you to do something that I'm not willing to do. And a lot of people, when they work regularly with me, they will figure out that I mean that. I've changed patients. I've emptied catheter bags. I feed people. I've done, you name it. I've cleaned up vomit. You name it. I've done it. It is what it is. There is no role in healthcare where basic patient care that is hands-on. It is not beneath anybody. It is everybody's job. And a lot of people, as they progress up the chain, they seem to lose track of that. And that's going to be something that will be a part of my focus. Right. That's nursing. See, Rebecca feels me. And that is going to be something that I am going to focus on when the time comes that I do meet my end goal and I actually get to step into that role, to be reminding people no one is above basic patient care. It is not just basic care. It is humanity is what it is. If you were the person laying in that bed and you couldn't turn yourself over, or you couldn't clean yourself up, or you couldn't feed yourself, you would feel helpless. And nobody wants to feel that way, you know? And that's why I say that's part of why I think I want to take this step. You know, I want to make things and try to improve things as best I can, you know, within my realm of capability. Hi, Riley. How you doing? Sorry, y'all. I got to take them glasses off for a minute. My face is itching. Working and lurking. Hey, that's cool. Just make sure they don't catch you. Hi, Jarella. Good to see you. Let's see. We missed our walk today. Maybe not. Hopefully you guys will get lucky. Oh, Nettie, have you seen the TikTok videos, or they're like on, I know they're on Facebook, I don't know about TikTok, of the guy that's got the mobile dog walking unit where he's got the little runner ramps, almost like a little treadmill for dogs? It is so cute to see them so happy, and they will just be wide open because, you know, dogs love to run unless they're just kind of like lazy dogs, because some dogs are just as lazy as people are sometimes. But it is just so cute to watch them be so excited and so happy and just flinging them legs as fast as they can. It's just like, they're like, I'm flying. It's the greatest thing ever to me. It makes me happy. Hey, Vanessa. When you say good morning, I assume that means you're fixing to get ready to go to work, bless your heart, because I do the same thing when I'm on nights. I do the same thing. So I have a feeling I know what that means. All right, let's continue on Miss Ambula.
Be drinking all the time with all the medications you are on. I actually am not on any medications at all. I can't tell you the last time I took a medication.
And then she wants to try to have this thought process like she doesn't understand why she is having all this roller coaster of emotions. Maybe that's why. Because you stop and start your medication on a whim and you don't think it through. Pumpkin, that's why they gave them to you.
It's been months since I've been off of like anxiety medicine or for my bipolar, but I actually am taking a break on the whole drinking thing because I felt like I was turning to it. I did go through a phase a couple years ago where I was turning to alcohol, and the last time I drank was on live stream. I was drinking whiskey. It's because I was turning to alcohol because I just felt like I needed something so I didn't have to feel what I was currently feeling. Like at first I was like, you know what, single era, I live by myself, have a couple drinks, there's nothing wrong with that. But then I realized, okay, I like the way this makes me feel. I like
all of y'all earth people out there. Do you drink because you like it the way it makes you feel? Makes you feel good, right? Makes you feel like you're a good dancer when you're not, right? That's sort of the point of alcohol, right? Jesus Christ, at the thought process. Oh, holy Jesus. No, I haven't. I don't want to go back. And he's got energy for days. Girl, then you definitely need to look into one because honestly, That might be right up. That might be right up your baby's alley. Yeah, pretty much at this point. I know you done been here when I done went off on a whole tangent. This girl might be an addict, but she ain't alcoholic. Not by any stretch of the damn imagination. She went more than a year without picking up no booze that we've seen her do. Either she's a bad liar and she playing that she's just desperate for a win, saying I went a year and some change without some alcohol, or she's not an alcoholic. That irks the holy living piss out of me when she does that shit. Ugh. Well, hey, enjoy it for us both, because that ain't meant for me. Yes, drunk one. Want you it tastes good. Yeah, hey girl, what's up, Tankle Bliss? Look at you updating your photo. You looking all fancy. I like the hair, girl. Stylish, so stylish. She's struggling along now. Oh, girl, we fitting to get there. Don't be stealing my thunder. I drink because I like the taste once I got older after my early 20s. True enough, and there are some people who actually enjoy the taste of like beer and certain alcohols and everything, but I'm just, I can't wrap my mind around liking the taste of it. The feeling that it gives people, like I said, it makes them more sociable. It makes them feel like they can dance when they can't. It gives them that liquid courage. So of course people like the way it makes them feel, and for her to say it like some kind of revelation is the part that amuses the shit out of me. Absolutely. And that's why it irks the holy living piss out of me, because she's doing it. Foodie's been doing it. It's like, would y'all shut up? I mean, come on. Yep. You do know there's people in recovery out here watching you, and we feeling like you're a dick for trying to co-opt something that ain't even yours to co-opt, It's not for everybody. Bridget, yeah, girl, Bridget's been putting in work. So yeah, she has earned her a little celebratory White Claw. Drink alcohol. Well, and that goes back to not really for everybody, so I get it. She absolutely is not. And I have actually said it a few times. I said it on the stream with Gigi. I've broken it down when I broke down the 12 steps and what about talking about alcoholism. If the alcohol that you imbibe causes you any sort of problem to anything in your life, whether it be monetarily, whether it be financially, whether it be legally, whether it be in developing relationships or currently developed relationships, then you might be an alcoholic. This heifer being alone in her home, drinking by herself and getting in her feelings and boohoo crying is not her being an alcoholic. That's her being somebody who should be on mental health meds that are not taking their mental health meds. Secondarily, her trying to say that people asking her about drinking when she's on her mental health meds, there is nothing saying that you can't. You just have to be mindful when you do. So there you go. I need to study now. I'm procrastinating. Oh, hey, you are taking a momentary mental health break to clear your head and to prepare you for all that knowledge that you're fixing to have to absorb. You're gonna be good, Bridge. Don't worry. My husband would get sleepy, so we rarely drink. I always love wine with dinner, and Lakers stayed away from mixed drinks because, oh, girl, I don't blame you. Well, realistically, all alcohol, it has, its own form of sugar involved, especially when you're talking about fermented stuff like wines. Ooh, holy moly. So you do, it's a good thing that you're being real mindful of that, because I can tell you, as somebody who drank, you can pack on the pounds really easily and not even realize you're doing it, because it's a lot of empty calories. A lot. True enough, but I still feel a kind of way about it. You're welcome. Well, hey, it's new, so maybe that's why nobody else noticed it, and because I was looking right at you, because you're right there on the screen by yourself. I don't have anything kind of detracting my attention other than seeing your photo. Don't give me too much credit, Right. That is attention seeking behavior. Woe is me. Look at all the things that I've overcome, you guys. But I did smoke for almost 16 years. I don't know how I managed to quit it, but I did, because you are a bad mofo. That's how nutty. That was harder for me than being sober for over 10 years, and I'm free from both now. Wow. See, that's my thing. See, that's why you guys see me with these, because I was a cigarette smoker for a long, long, long time. And this, I have noticed that I use this way less, and I'm trying to kind of work my way out from underneath them. Whereas, cigarettes, I would light a cigarette and I wouldn't put it out. I would smoke the whole thing, even when I was over it, simply because, when you relight a snubbed out cigarette, it tastes really nasty. So all I could think is I'm not fixing to put this out. I'm fixing to smoke the whole thing, because it's going to taste disgusting and I'm not going to want to relight it. So with this, if I get the want, I can deal with that want and then sit it down, and I'm good for a while. I'm not having to go through a whole cigarette versus a single puff. You know what I mean? Alcohol makes me hyperglycemic overnight. It is. Oh yeah. Well, that's because you have like a really drastic peak from the sugar in the alcohol. You peak up real high, which means you automatically dive back low again. That's not uncommon. That's why it's really smart for you to eat, preferably protein, to kind of help sustain your blood sugars and to keep them kind of steady, because, protein takes longer to process down instead of carbs, because carbs makes you do this right here. You go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. Protein is more of a long lasting, slow drop, Thank you. It's nice to know that I'm coming across clear and rational, because there are some times where I'm sitting here talking to you guys and I feel like I don't make any sense.
I think that it's taking away certain emotions, heightening other emotions, and it's making me feel good. Then I started doing it more frequently, and I kind of want to just take like a little break until I heal a little bit more. You found a new therapist. Actually have not. So this is actually a good question to kind of lead into something else. A little bit of a backstory is, as you guys remember, I had to do 12 sessions of therapy to get weight loss surgery, because I was trying to do that. And then I did the 12 sessions, and then I continued seeing the same therapist, actually a psychologist. I liked him a lot, so I stayed. And then remember when I told you guys, okay, well, I have to go to a new psychologist who actually specializes in something different, and I didn't feel comfortable saying what it was. I actually only got to see that psychologist one time, because I ended up moving to a completely different state, and I wasn't able to keep the same psychologist, obviously. But I guess now is the time to say, I really did not want to share this. I don't know why, but I think it's something that, like, out of the diagnoses I've got.
And she collects those like merit badges. My
whole life. And those things were like so much easier for me to accept.
There's a reason why.
Diagnosed on my 19th session with my psychologist with borderline personality disorder. And for some reason, I had a hard time accepting that, and still have a hard time accepting that, like anxiety, okay? Take some medicine, try some Zoloft, see if that helps. Bipolar, take some mood stabilizer, see if that helps, but with borderline personality disorder, there isn't really a medicine for that.
And that's why she feels a kind of way about it. Not that she takes her medication like she's supposed to anyway, but, there's not a here, pop a pill, go away, you'll be fine sort of thing, and that's the stuff about her that I think irks me more than anything, because of what she's fixing to say.
Maybe I feel like it's a bit unfair. And then I have to remind myself, life isn't fair, Any changes you've noticed?
She makes the comment, which I apparently inadvertently deleted. She's like, there is no pill for this. You have to work on this. And I'm sitting here thinking, that explains why you feel a kind of way about it. Because we already know, we know how this one functions in relation to anything that has to do with anything resembling work. She rebukes it all in the name of the giant spaghetti monster in the sky. That is exactly how far she would do anything and everything to avoid having to actually put forth some effort. So now that she is stuck with this diagnosis, which she's not happy about, either she's going to actually step up and do something about it, which I really highly doubt, or she's going to pretend like that diagnosis didn't happen, or she's going to find somebody who will undiagnose her, just like she did with her BED. Right. And she's almost anaphylactic to it. It's wild. It's like, first off, boo-boo, a little bit of work ain't going to hurt you. If anything, it would probably do you good. I mean, realistically, that's part of why her issues are the way they are right now, I'm having problems with some temperature regulation, y'all. I don't like it. Maybe that'll suffice. Okay, let us continue. Hannibal's hate missing your streams. Well, Jarella, he's actually going to be live a little bit later on unless something comes up. I was telling him that's part of why I scheduled my stream the way that I did, so that, he would have enough time to do his thing and so that I could come hang out too. So agreed wholeheartedly, Mouse Toes. But, a lot of people are very accustomed to having things handed to them.
From your hysterectomy. Yes, my hair. My hair is the number one biggest change besides not having hair. Thank God. My hair, you can't tell now because it is straight, but my hair texture has completely changed. But on top of that, my hair has thinned a lot.
We have had conversations about that before. That is actually pretty common with women when they go through menopause. But what I do notice that she hasn't observed yet is the fact that it changes your skin too, which, she may not have noticed because she sleeps in her makeup. So, the changes would be so subtle that, realistically, she probably passes it off of with not washing her face, well, I'll be honest with you. She seems to think that she made a comment in a previous video that she doesn't brush her hair when it's wet because it causes a lot of her hair to fall out. It's like, that's not what's causing that, darling. That's just the way it is. That's just par for the course. The only thing that has kept me from having to deal with that sort of thing is that I am on HRT. If it weren't for that, my hair would probably be falling out and, too. But that goes back to her not being compliant with her medication. If she would take the estrogen as they've indicated, then she wouldn't be having any of these issues. But, can't tell her nothing. With ALR and foodie hard workers figuring out what to order. Right. It's just like, come on now. I'm 45 and I'm full of the pause. Girl, I say I'm premenopausal. I just turned 45 this year, but this was diagnosed a year ago, and apparently my levels weren't low enough to quite make me qualify for the full pause, but I'm going to tell you, I was having full pause symptoms, and I was like, nope, gots to go. I can't deal. I'm just, nope. After the pause comes the maxi pause. I can't. Girl, that's funny. She gets depressed and starts to spiral like this. Yep. Do you think if ALR stays alone, she could lose them 89 pounds again? Doubtful. Because, realistically, if you'll think about this, now that she's alone, there is nothing blocking her from ordering every single day if she wants. At least with somebody there, whether it be Feline, whether it be Becky, whether it be Destiny, she has another voice in her ear other than order something from DoorDash. No, don't do that. Order something from DoorDash. She doesn't have that external intervention to kind of divert her away from that thought of going on her phone and ordering something, So, my doctor had me gain some weight and my hair is growing back better now too. Well, see, here's the deal. And you lucky devil that you actually had to gain weight, to make that happen. Me, one of the things that the pause hit me with is 60 pounds slapped straight on my butt, and it was almost impossible to get off. My metabolism pretty much tanked overnight. It was really wild. Body heat regulation, it just gets a lot. Yeah, see, and I think that's kind of where I'm at right now, because I'm using the HRT, my temperature goes kind of up and down like this, and it's not terrible, but it's just, irritating. I've never had that happen, so maybe, I'll be honest with you, I'm kind of looking forward to that. I haven't had any symptoms. Night sweats a year or two ago. But that was one of the things that I had happening too, and that stopped almost instantaneously as soon as I started HRT. I'm really glad I did. I think she's going to give more weight. Yeah, I see. That's what I was saying. There's not going to be anything intervening to kind of derail her, No, so is that it? That's entirely possible, Jarella. Right. There's nobody there to give her the Samuel L. Jackson, what the fuck are you doing look. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, she made that comment. We're getting there. We're working that away.
Because my last Vlogmas was my favorite Vlogmas of all time.
Could have fooled me.
Because I remember how I felt during it. Next question is, you should explain your TikToks. Oh my God, my TikToks. A lot of people think that they have like hidden meaning. They don't.
They do.
I just really enjoy dancing, lip syncing. Some people call them thirst traps. Definitely not. I'm just kind of.
Absolutely, they are. That's where you've farmed every one of your last 2 girlfriends, honey.
For the lack of a better term, I'm just feeling myself. I don't know. I just enjoy being that. I don't know what it is. Like.
She enjoys being that. So one minute she's a bad bitch and she's all thirst trappy and sex kitten wannabe, and then the next minute she's a psychopath under a blanket rocking and crying. So come on now. God.
The energy feels good to me. Worst part has been obviously my random waves of loneliness, for sure. Like, no matter how much family's around you, whatever it may be, sometimes moving to a new place with new surroundings where you have to create a new routine, especially without someone that you love, it does create a sense of loneliness. We're going to start up with.
That's a you problem. And I speak that as somebody who ain't been that long ago moved myself. You know what? I ain't lonely in the slightest. I mainly don't have that issue because I am 100% comfortable and content being by my damn self. The only reason she has this problem is because she is 100% incapable of dealing with herself. And what does that say about why she can't keep people around? She knows that she's a little insufferable. Jesus. Right. Oh. Shout out to the Beatus. No shit. I agree. And why it is that she doesn't seem to realize that is beyond me.
Putting on a schedule again soon. I don't know. I feel like starting a schedule is only going to make me fail.
You don't say.
And I have done too much failing.
You don't say.
In several areas of my life.
No shit.
And it's because I honestly.
Yep. We getting there, Jarella.
Feel like I'm supposed to be a certain way that like I just don't. I don't feel that way right now, like at all. I'm supposed to be thriving as single and right now I'm just. I can't say that I 100% am. And it's like I don't want to like make all my videos about, oh my God, I'm heartbroken, like I miss my ex or I miss our friendship or this or that. Like I don't want all my videos to be that. I just kind of have to live life for me in this moment. Stop.
Can somebody please tell me out of all the videos in the last 30 days that she's uploaded where she hasn't mentioned loneliness, sadness, the ex-girlfriend dumping her, and the fact that she just misses her so bad, and she was my best friend, you guys, and how she makes comments like this as if that's not what she hasn't been doing this entire time. Again, the history rewriting for me is just, it's so irksome sometimes. You do know we can see you, right? I mean, come on. And the part about living my life for me, I mean, that's been exactly what she's been doing for the entirety of her time frame on YouTube. And it's just the lack of self-awareness on her part is what irks the holy living snot out of me about her. You've got to come to a point where you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, there is something wrong with me and I have got to fix this. I can't keep living this way. And she seems to be lacking the ability to do that. And I can't wrap my mind around why. It's an enigma. I just can't. My grandmother told me as a girl, you have to be your friend first. Yep. Be real. Woo-hoo. Say it louder for the people in the back, Nutty. Good God. Exactly. That's because old girl ain't had no bait and I don't know how long, and a lot of people don't give two fucks about how much money you got.
Focusing so hard on I need to make the best vlog possible because it's just not happening. So
when has she ever been focused on that? I say this to y'all. There's a lot of y'all that are new here. There's a lot of y'all that may not have gone back and watched any of the videos that I did. You know, there are some that I've had comments on over the course of the last 2 days. One went back all the way to the very first video that I uploaded at the end of January. My videos are not this stellar, monumental production on my part, but I try. I want it to be entertaining and something that you guys are not leaving at the end of it feeling like you just wasted time from your life that you'll never get back. That is her standard, and she doesn't care. And it's just like, what? It's just, She's at least partially aware, but she has no one to tell her to dial it back. No employer, no consequences. Yeah. Well, and even the people in her chats and stuff, whenever they've told her, hey, look, you're doing too much, she's like, you need to leave me alone. This is my life. How dare you tell me anything, you know? Right. She's never felt like she's had to be, because again, just like the mediocrity of the vlogging and the weight loss thing all go in hand. She's perpetually had all of it be continually rewarded and reinforced, because we all know negative attention is still attention. She doesn't care if it's positive or negative, even though she likes to come on here and say that she feels dehumanized. You can't tell me that she's not getting a rush out of having people say stuff to her, you know? Oh, girl, I'm going to tell you, I have said this myself. There is no way that shaming doesn't have some sort of positive effect, even though it past a certain point, it can be toxic. If you push somebody enough, eventually they're going to feel bad enough that they're going to want to change. Right, I agree. And that's exactly what the problem is. All of my videos hope to entertain as well. We waste our time and lives watching these wrecks. Yes, we do. But, you know, that's part of why we do what we do, Hannibal, because we know that we add more to this to actually make it palatable for other people, so that they're not just wasting 10 minutes of their life watching her go, look at my Lego, guys, and here's what I bought from the grocery store, guys, and we're going to taste test this, guys. And it's just, And oh my God, I can't bear for you to look at me this way, even though the heifer's the one that turned on the camera to start with. It's just like, agreed. And God's honest truth. I mean, the only reason that I continue to even deal with her or Foodie as a generality is because, you know, I being able to interact with you guys out here when we have these lives is part of what makes this whole thing entertaining. I would thump her in her forehead if I ever actually saw her in person and be like, you're a twit. Do something with your life. But, you know, this talking to you guys, having this interaction, this is what makes it interesting and makes it fun. You put hella effort into your content, Hannibal. It absolutely does. I'm really kind of jelly at Hannibal. I'm not going to lie. Dude is like a G at this stuff. True enough. If you're foolishness and you're undignified and being loud. Oh, who? Girl, that is the absolute truth if I have ever heard it. Sunk cost fallacy. I have to say how it ends. Yeah. Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I'm going to be just like hurting a lot. It is what it is. But like when me and my recent ex first broke up, like every day I would come on here and like cry to you guys and talk about it and give you these play-by-play updates. That's just not what I want for this. And I made some very, very thin pork chops. She thinks that she's getting some, but she's not. They're super tiny and thin.
I left that in there because y'all know I really don't care about what she eats, not really. But the whole deal about her saying it more than once, that they're so thin and tiny, it doesn't change the fact that they're loaded with salt. Ma'am, your lymphedema, one of the things you're supposed to be avoiding is salt. No. And we already know. We know the girl done put a half a bottle of garlic salt on them damn things. This right here is the part that one of the things that bothers me about her. She wants to use that lymphedema and the lipedema as all this reasoning about why she can't lose weight, why she can't do this, why she can't do that. Boo-boo, you don't even care enough to maintain your diet to prevent you from having a flare-up. Why should we give a shit if you try to use that as an excuse for why you can't get up and go take your ass outside and go walking? Jesus Christ. Yeah, I know. Foodie's the same way. I agree. I mean, God's honest truth. You can't tell me that old girl is not doing this sort of shit on purpose. She is purposely, this is not like pork chops she bought when she first got here and she's got them and she's just going to use them. No, this is more pork chops she has bought since she's been here. She done been through all the other ones. She knows what she's doing. If she actually gave a damn about that lymphedema and the lipedema issue that she's got going on, she wouldn't be eating shit like this. She'd be dealing with lean proteins. She a knucklehead. Well, at this point, I need to see how Foodie did. Right. I remember her happy when she was the diagnosis. Well, first off, and I did a whole video response to that damn thing. It ain't that you can't lose weight. It just requires a little bit more effort. There are whole videos of people on YouTube who have lost weight with lipedema. And like I said earlier, glitter and lasers is one of them. Glitter and lasers is going to the gym. She is doing the damn thing. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong. She has pharmacological help on board, but her taking a medication to help her doesn't negate the fact that she is going to the gym and she is putting in the time, the effort, and the work. This one ain't doing shit other than like slowly killing herself, and she seems to be okay with it. That's what bothers me about her. You cry but never change. Yes. And see, that's the thing. She's done this so much that I don't even understand how it is that she's continuing to get the views she's getting, because honestly, it is literally Groundhog Day. We're watching the same shit over and over again. Agreed, 100%. She needs to be out of the house, walking around the block every single day at minimum. It made me hungry to see the pig knuckle in the plate. And pork chops look drier than the sand lizards, but true enough. But you know, she's a dry Gorlie. She likes all her stuff dry. Drier than a popcorn fart. That's funny. And doing gym time, y'all know, is a change of attitude. Amen to that. Girl, you may walk in there going, I don't want to do this, but at the end of it, you do it the right way. You walking out of there with the noodle limbs, and you're just like, I feel so good. Oh, her walking one time a year ago don't count. That's kind of like her and them 89 pounds. I lost 89 pounds, y'all, 5 years ago, heifer. That would be like, okay. I'm going to equate this. There are people in the program of AA who fall off the wagon. Okay. I have done it one time myself. That's been umpteen bazillion years ago, but I still fell off the wagon. When I did, I had 5 years of sobriety accumulated. There are other people who have gone even longer than that when they have fell off. But the moment you fall off, that time, it don't count. You don't get credit for that shit. And for some reason, old girl, she likes to hang her hat on that 89 pounds like she done something. When in all reality, Pookie done gained 3 times that amount back. When we gonna sit that 89 pounds down like she's actually doing something with herself? I mean, come on. Well, she better be more afraid of dying, because she's getting closer to that than she is to having another dangling ankle problem. Yeah. That's really sad. She's using her injury. Yeah, she uses anything she can not to do something. See, that's when you really have to do it, is when you don't feel like doing it. Right. Anything is better than nothing. And at this point, she is literally not doing anything.
So a lot of you say that, like, I'm looking for a caretaker. And for a minute there, I was just like accepting it, because you guys know I do not drive. Just don't. I don't drive. I have an anxiety, but obviously I am thinking about getting my license. That is something I'm thinking about. And I get a lot of crap for the fact that I don't drive. But I just found out, all within the span of 24 hours, that y'all's favorite reaction channel doesn't drive. And Tana Mongo, whatever her last name is, I'm bad at pronouncing, as you guys know, she also doesn't drive. It's just like, there's a lot of other, obviously, probably people on YouTube who don't drive, and no one says like, oh, you need a caretaker. So I have put 2 and 2 together. I've realized that people say that to me because of my weight. So are we going to look at the reaction channel and say, oh, you need a caretaker because you don't drive? It's just like, it's such a weird concept to me that, like, it's okay to say that to me because of my weight. I wasn't going to say anything, but
she's talking about, oh God, what's his name? She's talking about Zachary Michael Bridge. She's talking about Zachary Michael. But let me just go ahead and get started. Let me just go ahead and stretch real good for this. Pumpkinhead, ain't nobody trying to imply that you need to get a driver's license and we have issue with it because you're fat. We have an issue with it because you're a lazy, entitled fuckwit that demands everybody around you do shit for you simply because you don't want to put in the effort to learn how to do it yourself. Number 2, people like Zachary Michael, people like Narc-Alert, who live in large metropolitan areas, actually have public transit available to them. Now, you move out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, where you demand your mentally incapacitated girlfriend, who is loaded to the gills with every kind of mental health medication, to drive you when everybody and their brother could see that she was incapacitated. That's why people have an issue with the fact that you don't drive. You want to claim independence simply because you're living on your own? Honey, boo-boo, let me just tell you, Being able to pay the bills simply where your ass is residing does not make you independent. Being able to put on your own motherfucking shoes without help makes you independent. Taking your own ass out of the house to the store without having to call your mama makes you independent. Being able to wash your own ass without having somebody else help you makes you independent. So you can spare us the fat phobia bullshit instead of trying to hide behind the fact and saying maybe I'm the motherfucking problem and doing something about it. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. The girl irks the holy living fuck out of me. I was more independent at 16 years old than this one is at fucking 40. It is fucking ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Exactly. Exactly. Spot on. Girl, we come on through with it. Y'all know where I was going. Girl, she sets me all the way the fuck off with this bullshit. I do. The sassy pants does come out of me on occasion. And I know that is why you guys love me, because I did get told. And I can almost imagine, because I wasn't looking at this, I was looking at y'all when I was talking. I already know that my facial expressions were probably insane, and I have been told, including by your mama of all people, that my facial expressions are hilarious, and obviously that must make me funny, and I hope so. I hope that I am entertaining to you guys, and I hope y'all find it funny, but at the same time, though, I am just putting it all the fuck out there. I don't care. I don't care. You know? So, yeah. From here on in, the clue will obviously be, let me just stretch this on out real quick. This ever going to stand long enough at a bus stop, much less RS. Thank you. Thank you. Right? How about that, Rally? I was friggin' shocked. Okay. Let me tell you. I rolled in there. I don't know if you saw the short that I put up. Okay. Last night, talking about, let's just clear the air. Here's what's going on. Just because I'm in people's chats don't mean that I'm taking sides, because I don't play that game. That's what prompted it. I have told you guys that I have watched Yo Mama, that there are streams of his that I actually sit down and listen to. And the fact is, I don't listen to all of them. I don't participate in all of them, but I went in there last night and I actually made the comment, because he was saying I don't go after every woman's appearance and this and that. And he doesn't. He did that reaction to Hannibal and I, and he did not make not one disparaging comment about my appearance. And I pointed that out. I said, I do got to give you credit. You don't do that to all women, because you did not do that to me. You were snickering and laughing about the facial expressions that I was having. I said, but even that, when you pointed it out to me, I was laughing about it too. And he actually said, oh, no, I need to react to some of your stuff, by the way. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm nervous now, because I was like, I talk about the girls. I was like, so, I can only imagine what you're going to say. And he said, no, I don't think you're going to have a problem. So long as you're not nitpicking like some of these people do, then it should be fine. And I said, well, still nervous. I can't help myself. But he actually said in that stream that he is going to be doing a reaction to the California Karen's video on his live, this next live that he's got coming up, whenever the hell that is. So I'll be curious to see what he says. He may disagree with a lot of what I have to say, but that's fine. Some of the way that I do things may come across as nitpicky, but that's fine. It is what it is. But, is he really? Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay, tonight. Woo. Lord have mercy. But, it is what it is. But the fact that he actually said that was like really kind of, I took it sort of as a compliment, because I'm like, if he was just this awful person to all women, then he probably would have said something negative about me. But, I don't know. But I had somebody literally tell me, well, I used to like you till you came in here. And it's like, dude, what the world? I hope so. I mean, I'm not nasty. I'm not nasty to people. Not like some others are, but I am going to say what I think, God bless. All right. I'll take it if it was fine.
It's just like, I need to stick up for myself. I need to stand up for myself just a little bit more.
Girl, you need to stand up more, period. Not for yourself, but stand up in general.
Look like a mess. I feel like a mess. This is like a moment where I literally told myself that.
Well, here's the deal. Hannibal has more education than him. What he did with Hannibal is he just called Hannibal boring.
I was not going to do this. I was not going to do this.
I said I wasn't going to do this, that I wasn't going to do this. And why'd you turn the camera on? Why'd you turn the camera on? Sad. The sad fishing thing just irks the piss out of me.
I'm losing more and more of the two people that I love, which is such a weird concept that you can love more than one person at a time, because I really never believed that you could, but truth is you can. And
but she was real quick to downplay and demand that Feline overlook her own polyamory. But now that she's quote unquote in love with two people, all of a sudden it's a real thing now. The other thing too, her saying, I'm losing the two people that I love. Boo boo, you been lost them. You've been lost them. They been gone. Feline's over there posting on Snapchat, free. Praise the Lord. You've been lost her. Her telling you she don't want to talk to you no more, you should have considered that a door closed in your face. Second off, the other person, you were never even proximity with, honey. When that motherfucker ghosted you, that was done. There is no losing. You have lost. It is over with. Hang up your gear and go your ass to the locker room. Shit.
It's just the more I lose them and the more time goes, I just feel so broken. All of my thoughts, all of them, and all of my feelings are just heightened and it's there for me to listen to and for me to feel, and I just don't like it. It is literally torture. I just don't know how to be alone. But mentally, it's hard, and I think what's making it hard is the fact that I'm not 100% happy because my job.
Do you know who would be the ideal person to talk to this about? Would be, Amber? A therapist. Sorry, y'all. A fucking therapist. That is what a therapist is for, not your audience. When people say that you trauma dump, this is the bullshit they're talking about. They don't give a fuck about how you are unhappy, about how lonely you are, about the fact that you can't even sit alone in your own company and deal with your own thoughts and feelings. But what I will say is what is reaffirmed by this is the fact that these women do not mean anything to you. They are simply a distraction from having to deal with yourself. Jesus Christ. Well, she'll never do that. She'll never do that. Girl, oh my. Now I can't unsee it. Thanks for that, ding dong do.
Is my life. And like, there's no break from that. You know, sometimes I miss having that job where I have to get up and I have to go and just leave my mind the best that I can, and I have to focus on other people and other things. And yes, I could go get a different job. Like, stupidly, I've thought of like,
my job is my life. Ma'am, you put out 10 minutes of a 24-hour day. You can miss me with that bullshit. And how you just have so much going on. No, you don't. Because if you actually had hobbies, relationships, anything that didn't involve fork to mouth or sad fishing for another bitch, then maybe, just maybe, you would actually have something to give you a little bit of fulfillment. But we don't want to talk about that, do we? Ooh, that's facts. Remember what she said, please? Girl, you know why she said that, right, Mouse Toes? Feline was athletic because, number one, she could do shit that Amber couldn't do. And number two, she was less than half Amber's size. Right now, if I talked to Amber, she would probably call me athletic. And I am not athletic. Right. The other thing about that whole comment that bothers me, I would really love to have a job where I can just check out of my mind. First off, there is no such job where you can just check out of your mind. Tell us you've never worked a fucking day in your life without telling me you've never worked a day in your life. Most people would probably. Right. Exactly. And that's what's so irksome about it. It isn't like she doesn't. Okay. We're going to take a real quick deviation here. You've got people like Hungry Fat Chick, Candy, who cannot afford to get the level of mental health care that she needs. But we've got this one who has more than enough money available to her to do it, and she doesn't do it. That's the reason why she irks me. It's just like, I mean, what? Do you want the therapist to come to your fucking house and take you by the hand and go, come on, Amber, we gotta go do a session today. Bitch.
Why don't I just go back to like filming mukbangs? And it's like, that's not who I am anymore. It would be ultimately the easiest choice I could make, is just eat for you guys and just eat on camera. It would help my bank account. It would help my views. It would help engagement. It would help take my mind off of everything, but then I hate it. I just want to feel good by myself. Okay.
Therapy. Okay. Secondarily, that whole mention of I could do mukbangs, it would be good for this, it would be good for that, it would be good for this. She claims that that isn't what she wants to do, but I can almost guarantee when she starts doing them again, she's going to be like, well, I told y'all I was going to start doing them again. I mentioned it the other day. Yeah, this was actually uploaded today. If they don't, baby, here she was. Right. And that is not what a therapist is for at all. Exactly. She has never figured it out. I mean, we've seen this. Okay, we've seen it. Every single person that she gets in proximity to her, she like osmosisly sucks away part of their personality and claims it as her own. God's honest truth, as much as she fucking despises it, I hope beyond all hope that there ain't nobody that she can suck her in again and she's stuck this way for a while, because then she'll be forced to have to figure it out. Oh yeah. Honey, honestly, though, I don't see her ever not failing, because number one, she hasn't hurt bad enough that she even wants to try, and she hasn't learned enough that she makes the decision to. This is Amber's life. Her and Foodie both are destined to end up just like Jen.
So I feel better now. I'm currently standing in my kitchen eating Cool Whip with a butter knife out of the container.
Oh, but I don't want to do that, you guys. And then here we are in the next scene, and she's eating Cool Whip out of the tub on nothing, straight.
I'm done wearing a mask. I'm done. If I plan on continuing to grow as a person, a YouTuber, and grow more connected to you guys, then I have to be honest.
Okay. She does, but it's the bottom of her casket, Rally. That's the way that I choose to see it with her. I mean, that's just a fact. Oh no, she can always go lower. It's going to be 6 feet lower. And like I said, in a casket, it's going to be her family burying her just like Jen. Seems like what she is doing, setting the stage for mukbangs. I bet it has to do. Yeah. 100%. All right. And now we're on to Foodie.
So Naif was having a deal where you get 2 3 pieces for $3.80 something. So there was like a sale on it. Doing
So she's freely admitting that she has gotten 2 3-piece meals. Would that not qualify as a binge? I mean, if we sat down and looked at it, the calorie count on everything combined would probably exceed the daily caloric value for a normal human being. Right. She got a deal, y'all. She got a sucker who's willing to buy to help her eat herself into an early grave. What a deal. I know. I just can't. Secondarily, red is not her color. For people who have skin tones like me and her, red, wearing anything red, just brings out the red everywhere. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No question.
I should address this. I see a lot of people commenting about, you can have money for this, but you don't have money for this. Why can't people mind their business?
If you didn't put it out online, then nobody wouldn't have anything to talk about. You just mad that people ain't agreeing with you and patting you on the ass. Why you mad? You the one that created this issue. For fuck's sake.
About how people spend money. Okay, my fault because I brought up the cat. I did that video of her about the vet because I see a lot of comments like, you have money for a new car, blah, 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 but not to get your cat fixed. Okay, not getting my cat fixed right now is not a money issue.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it sounds snooty, because, you know, she had another checkup. Like, we went to bring her for her vaccine, and now checked her skin. With this, like, he turned the light off and took this, like, black light thing, which looks for, like, skin conditions. So she has a skin condition. He said it's, like, common in Persian cats, because my grandma's cat, Persian cat, had that too. But it's also just common in cats, apparently. He's like, it's just airborne. There's nothing you're doing to cause it.
So, she said, okay, just now, that they took the cat back to the vet. And that all of a sudden, the vet is checking for all this stuff this time. Anybody out there who's ever been to a vet will know the very first visit, if you bring that cat in and that's a brand new cat to you, they're going to do a nose to tail assessment, right? Tell me why it is that wasn't done the first visit. I can almost guarantee that it was. And that's when they gave that cat the Depo-Provera, which means this cat has had this skin problem more than likely since that first vet visit. If by some freak occurrence the cat didn't have this problem, I have made the comment on Twitter and I will lay it out there again. How do we know that she didn't give this to this cat by her pawing and rubbing her face all in them camels out in the desert? That's a pretty rational question, I think. I mean, come on. We know that after she put all her grubby little hands all over them camels and rubbed her face all over that camel, that she did not wash her hands or her face. And what is the first thing that she does to that cat? She grabs that cat and wallows all over this cat. So how does she know that that's not where that came from? The other thing too, her saying that the vet told her that it was nothing that she could have done. Even if that was the case, she would never tell us that.
It looks like dander to me. So,
secondarily, an excessive amount of dander on a cat is not normal.
He gave us like this jug of antifungal wash, and we have to get her bathed because I'm not bathing her.
You don't say.
She freaks out if any drop of water touches her.
Does this sound familiar at all? I'm not going to bathe her because I'm not comfortable with that. She freaks out anytime water touches her. What does that resemble? I'm not cutting BBJ's nails because I'm not comfortable with that. She freaks out anytime I touch her feet.
I don't feel experienced or comfortable. So we're going to bring her to get bathed. It's actually so common that they have it on the service menu. She has that.
What this one doesn't know, because, she doesn't put any research into anything except what she's ordering off of DoorDash, is that if you want to condition your animals to allow you to bathe them, you start when they're young. Wasn't Julia a kitten when you got her? Are you telling me that you procured this cat and never bathed her once? Would this logic fall under the same mindset that she thought applied with BBJ? Because, they groom themselves. Okay, yeah, they groom themselves, but it doesn't change the fact that long-haired cats have to be brushed. They also regularly have to be bathed, because when they bathe themselves, that tongue only goes so deep into the fur. This woman doesn't give two fucks about that cat. All I can say is, despite how much I don't really care for Sala, that I am glad that he actually cares about the cat. Because at the bare minimum, he will make sure that Julia has what she needs and she gets the care that she deserves. Because he actually likes and cares about the cat. Yep, exactly.
To clear up, before we get her vaccine, and then we can get her fixed.
Yep.
But I don't know why people
She
are
knows she's in
freaking
the
out
wrong.
that she's not fixed. Like she had a hormone shot, which prevents her from going into heat for like 6 months. So she's fine. I mean, she will be fixed eventually, but there's no rush because of the hormone shot.
People are bothered by this because this giving her that Depo-Provera shot is not supposed to relieve you of 6 months worth of responsibility for following through on maintaining the physical health of your cat. That's why. People who actually care about their pets would have said, okay, let's get the Depo in her, and let's go ahead and set the appointment to have her fixed in 3 days. If it takes a day or two for it to kick in, let's set it for 3 days from now. Let's set it for 5 days from now. Let's set it for a week from now. But do you think that they would be going, oh, well, I have 6 months to get her fixed? No. That's why people are reacting this way, Foodie. Because you are showing flat out that you don't give a fuck.
So we have time to take care of other things.
No, it's not her fault. And the fact that you are leaving it unmanaged and undealt with, that also makes it not Julia's fault. It makes it your fault.
So it's not about money. I've had people message me, "Can we send you money for the vet?" No, we don't need it.
If they did send it to you, would you use it? Because the last time somebody cared enough to take care of your animal when you wouldn't, you took that money and you snorted it. Don't tell us that this is not about money when your behavior says otherwise. Sala's got high dollar taste and you got a low budget wallet.
Cancel culture is insane. Me, I'm just like, whatever. If you want to cancel me, go for it. If someday social media doesn't work out for me, I'll do something else.
I would love to know what.
More difficult, but it's not impossible. And I like to just think that I can always adapt to whatever situation God throws at me.
With what education? With what skills? With what physical capability? Do tell. We would love to hear it. I mean, and if you are going to get a job at some point down the road, where exactly is that going to be? Because where you're at, honey, you don't speak the native language. You've made no effort to learn the native language. Jesus, age. Oh, I already. Yes. Touch and pause when she was little. Now she has ear issues. Yeah. See, and that's the same way with Jinx. I got little mama. She was already grown. But Jinx, when I found Jinx, Jinx was brand new at the shelter that I was working at. And he was a baby. I mean, little enough to fit into both hands. And I worked with him. There is nowhere on him that I can't touch him to do whatever needs to be done to him. And that is learned behavior. If you teach them early that it's okay and that they're safe, then they will trust you. This is, again, the lack of care on her part. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just irks me. This is going to be the kind of record for rate. Probably. She talks so much about having money versus not having money, which is now a problem. Right. So, you know, it's one of those things. Obviously, there is an issue because, number one, she would be uploading eating videos every day if she actually had something else to show. Number one. Number two, she knows from previous experience that that's what gets her the views. So you can't tell me that there isn't some sort of problem going on. Hi, Val. Good to see you. She literally can't stand her washer. Right. I'm behind in the chat, but I love your patience. My mom had dementia after years of caring for her. I had to put her in a nursing home during the height of COVID. Bless your heart, Ontario chick. I've been doing this a long time, Ontario. Quarter of a century. I am literally the old broad whenever I'm at work. And things have gotten very, very different, you know, over the years since I started nursing. And there's a whole new mindset of people, of the folks that are coming in now. I mean, I love what I do, and I treat everybody the same way that I would want myself to be treated or somebody that I love to be treated. And that's a big part of how I go into work. I'm like, okay, I am their eyes, I am their ears, I am their hands, their feet, their legs, whatever they need me to be. And that is to me a big part of what our job entails. We're there to be their teacher. We're there to be their interpreter if they need it. We're there to, when I say interpreter, I mean for those people who have trouble with speech problems, things like that. You know, we are their helping hand there. They can only do so much, and we have to help them bridge that gap. But a lot of people don't really see it that way, unfortunately. YouTube is glitching. Lives are all messed up. This one started 8. What? That is the weirdest thing. I wish Salty had been live for 8 hours. God, I don't even know if I could actually do an 8-hour live. I mean, maybe at some point we'll go a little cuckoo and I will do something like that, but I don't know. I don't have a lot of faith in myself to do something quite that drastic.
Who am I to judge his plan? I haven't had any time finish my meal plan for the week and get the groceries. I think Salah will go. I'm not ashamed to admit that.
She's been so busy that she hasn't been able to finish her meal plan and get her groceries. With what exactly? I mean, this is another one. She uploads about 10, 15, maybe 20 minutes of her day. Ma'am, what are you doing with the other 23 and a half hours of your day? And you're not even getting the groceries. You just admitted that you're sending Salah. So tell me what it is that you're so busy doing that you can't accomplish even the most basic of adult tasks. I mean, I can't wrap my mind around it, y'all. Are there any more of those movies we can watch? That was super fun. Well, okay. Here's the deal with that, Nutty. In order for us to do something like that again, I would have to find a movie that has no copyright attachment to it. Night of the Living Dead was actually kind of a happy accident because when they were doing the copyright paperwork, they filled something out wrong, so their copyright was denied. That's the only reason that one was kind of free, a free for all, and it's a great movie. But a lot of movies that fall under that no copyright deal, you're talking about stuff from like the 30s, 40s, and 50s, stuff that I have never even heard of, you know. But I will see if I can find something that will work for us. And if I can, then we will absolutely do it again. Well, true enough, but I'm sorry. I mean, I sleep, I smoke, and I watch reaction channels too, but I still accomplish stuff during the day. I mean, there's got to be more to it than that. I mean, come on. I will keep that in mind. I'm going to see what I can find, Val. He jumped in the shower with me yesterday. I'm not a fan. Hey, that's a good sign, though. I mean, honestly, the fact that he's willing to jump in the shower with you, that means he's not bothered by water. That should make things easier, believe it or not. And that, like you said, he obviously trusts you quite a bit. It would be cool if we had a few more happy accident movies. No, I know, right? I know. I really wish, the God's honest truth, that, like, I got to figure out if there's, okay. I know with the music part of things that, like, you can buy the rights to use something. I wonder if there's a way that I can do that. If there is, I will have to see if I can work that out to find us a movie that I can buy rent the rights to use. That would be really awesome because I didn't even know that was a thing. So we will find a way to make this happen. I'm going to claim it. We're going to find a way to make it happen.
Me, I don't care about those things. Like, if I have what I need in life to survive, car, shelter, love.
But aren't you lacking in all three of those things? I mean, I'm pretty sure that the apartment you're sitting in is more than likely in Salah's name rather than yours. I'm pretty sure the car is in Salah's name rather than yours. And the love thing, that's debatable.
Not expensive things.
On the Bureau.
Okay. So now the fun part. This is, of course, the anniversary video.
Full angel here. Oh, hello guys. Just enjoying my time with my love here in this romantic place.
What the hell was that? Oh, hi guys. Jesus H. Christ. I said it on the short the other day. I'm going to say it again. I'm pretty sure there was better acting in porn movies in the 60s and 70s when the pizza man showed up to the wrong house. This is atrocious.
I love it.
Okay. See, we noticed that she has the bottle in her own hand, right? Now all of a sudden it's in his.
He loves to fill my drink, so.
If this were something that he did as a show of endearment, number one, you would not have ever had to pour any of that yourself. Tell me this is performative without telling me.
So what flavor are you smoking, honey?
Actually, it's watermelon with mint. So how shall we do it?
Very smooth. I love it. I love the fruits.
Okay, what's your
All right, we're going to continue.
favorite restaurant?
I don't have any complaints, so I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10.
Whoa, I'm so glad that you like it.
Yes, thanks for bringing me here.
Anytime, honey. No.
I have had a more organic and interactive flow of conversation with total strangers than the two of them just had over the course of their time sitting at the table and their subsequent restaurant review. I mean, this entire conversation almost sounded AI generated. That is how preposterous it comes across. And then she wonders why it is that nobody believes that there's anything resembling affection between the two of them. You can't even have a normal conversation. You guys, for those of y'all that are interested, I mean, when I got to like 100 subscribers, me and my homegirl, Nikki, we went and did axe throwing. There was not one point in that entire video where anything was awkward like this. Nikki and I, we are not attached to each other's hip, but we are very friendly and we mesh well. Even when she and I first met at work and we would have our conversations, it was effortless. It was seamless. It flowed. This is anything but the polar opposite of that. What they could have reversed it they could have rehearsed it till the cows come home. It wouldn't have done it no good. It is not about them knowing their lines. It's about the fact that they don't sell them. It was so awful, Nutty. It is so awful. Oh, I will review this fake-ish when I go live. Yeah. He turns on the light when you got candle. He does. Mr. Riley's favorite part is when he turns the light on before she... Right.
Peek. I have a surprise for you. Ready?
Yeah.
You exciting?
Are you excited? The fuck is that? Again, if you're going to put on a performance, at least try to friggin' sell it. And that, she knew. Every bit of this is so performative. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness! No! I love you!
Love me too.
I love you too. So much emotional investment, you guys. So many emotions there. File that away. He is hugging her like I would hug a total stranger at one of my AA meetings that I ain't never met before. That sideways hug thing, that's how you hug people that you don't have no sort of emotional connection or investment in at all. God almighty. So how did he buy the flowers without her knowing? It seems like she knew. She knew every bit of it.
I love you, Hattie. Much.
I can guarantee you that ain't the first time.
Chantal equals a heart. I love you.
Number one, we know old dude ain't got a grasp of the English language. There's no way in hell she wrote that. But I ask you to refer back to that image I showed you on Twitter. Between that, where it was a comparison was done by one of those illustrious Kiwi farmers sharecropping the info for us, it's been proven that this is Chantal's handwriting simply by writing comparison. But Shannon already visually confirmed it in FFG's chat. Now, watch this real quick. Watch what he's doing with her.
You would love it, I know.
So good.
The shade. You love it, I know. Yep, 100%. Okay, so here we are. And obviously we have to have our momentary cat deflection thing going on. But I want you to listen to the difference in the way Sala speaks to this cat and the tone of voice that he uses versus how he has spoken to Chantal.
Look at this adorable cat, guys. Oh. She's cute AF. Cute cat. Look how she looked. She flipped herself. Hi. What's your name? Are you cute?
Listen to how tenderly he asked her that question. Are you cute?
Yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
We just finished.
I also pointed this out on the same short where I made the comment about the acting being as bad as a porno video. And I asked you guys to file away the way he was talking to Foodie versus how he was talking to Julia. Of the three entities in this room, Sala only cares about Julia, not Foodie. There was an emotional response in Sala's voice with Julia that is not there with Foodie. And that's got to chap Chantal's ass.
Share with you a part of our anniversary celebration. So I hope you enjoy it, guys, and see you in the next one.
The body language here is very, very awkward. I know a lot of people have seen the videos and the photos of the leaning prospect. When you have people who are in a relationship together, whenever couples or entities in those images or in those videos, if there is a emotional connection or response, the people who are emotionally invested or have feeling are usually leaning. The ones that don't are stock straight. Who represents that in this? He is incredibly straight, which means there is no emotional investment or desire for closeness for him. For her, she is leaning. He's not leaning back. So many times in couples videos or couples images, couples lean to each other when they're together. This is a reciprocation of exactly what their relationship entails. He is there because whatever the hell his motivation may be, she wants him. She desires him. That want is being expressed. That desire is being expressed. But it's unreciprocated. And Julie is just like, what the fuck did I get dragged into? So, okay, this is real quick. We're going to hit this tipping situation. Right. Yeah. The cat is his baby, not Chantal. No, not quite the same way. He talks down to her the same way he talks to Julia, like a pet, but he doesn't have any of that emotional sort of speak to his tone, you know. There's a noticeable difference. Well, that's exactly what she wants. That's what she's getting. She's paying for it. She's getting what she paid for. Later on, when she has buyer's remorse, nobody's going to feel bad for her, unfortunately.
Now, I thought we were talking about tipping culture these days. Now, tipping culture is different in every country. Like here, it's a choice. You know, like it's not mandatory. And there's some countries that are like that. There's some countries that frown upon tipping. And then there's some countries, it's basically, like, in my opinion, a bit out of control.
100%.
Like, I'm pretty sure Canada being one of those, US. Every time I think of the tipping issue, I think of the Reservoir Dogs movie, where Mr. Pink is like, Steve Buscemi is like, what do you guys think about tipping? I think it's gotten out of hand, worth like 20% of your bill. Or, I mean, I don't know. It's just like, you're getting tipped extra money to do your job. You know, like, you're bringing me a Coke to the table. You're bringing my food from the kitchen to the table. You know, like you're expected to do those things and you're expected to be nice. So don't be super nice and I'll just keep my 20%. You know, 20%, like, I mean, now it's like going up 25%. You see on the thing. You see, you know, some restaurants make it mandatory to tip. And the biggest argument I see is, how could you not tip a lot? Don't you know waiters only get paid like $4 an hour, $2 an hour?
Yep.
It's not true anymore.
Yes, ma'am, it is still true, even to today. Okay. And let me throw a little bit of knowledge out there to you. A lot of places, those servers don't get to keep every bit of their tips. There are places where the servers have to throw in and split their tips with the bartenders and the busboys. So tell us you don't know anything without telling us.
Maybe at one time some waiters, yes, but there's minimum wage, you know.
A lot of wait staff do not qualify for minimum wage, ma'am, simply because of the fact that if they go in on a particular night and they make more money in tips than they do hourly, then they are going to have to come up off some big money and taxes on that money that they've earned. That's the reason why they pay them lower hourly rates, for fuck's sake.
I think minimum wage is different for waiters.
Right, it's lower.
Here's the thing. You know what can fix this problem? How about the corporations or the businesses stop using customers to supplement waiters' incomes?
Or you could continue to stick to Burger King and McDonald's since you're buying there anyway, and you won't have to pay a tip.
Like, that's the problem. A tip is a tip. Something a little extra. Not supplementing the whole, the waiter's whole income. Like, paying them less just so they can get tips. Like, You can't rely, in my opinion, it's wrong to rely on that. Especially,
Aren't that what you're relying on technically? I mean, you've relied a lot on super chats. That's basically what that is a tip.
at rich chain restaurants, maybe a little mom and pop shop, well, you still have to like budget to pay your waiters well. I mean,
Tell me you've never worked in food service without telling me.
people will say, don't go out to eat if you can't afford to tip. Don't open a store if you can't afford to pay your employees.
Said by a woman who has never had any experience managing anything.
That's, you know what I mean? That's just so wrong, in my opinion. Growing
It's a good thing the world isn't built off of your opinion.
that tip used to be so cheap, like $2-3 at the table. Now
20 years ago.
it's like a whole thing on the transaction. Like, how much do you want to leave? 10, 15, 20? I don't even know if there is a 10 anymore. They keep upping it with, it's like, it shouldn't go up with inflation. What the heck?
Everything else does.
And if you don't tip like 20%, you get reamed out by people. Like, you're so cheap. Like, they they really give you heck. Also wrong. Maybe the person really can only afford to pay for the meal.
Then you don't have any business going to a restaurant where you have wait staff waiting on you. Like I said, if you don't want to pay for a tip and you've only got $20 to work with, then you need to take your butt to Burger King or McDonald's and sit down somewhere. Well, $10, I kind of, okay. Yeah, back in the day, back in our day, it was $2.13, and in some states, it is obviously still on the lower end and not as high as Colorado. But, the price of living is a lot higher in the northern states than it is in the south. So, it makes sense to me, It makes me ashamed too. Oh, she ain't. She ain't. What is this diversion about? Not taking care of her cat, or I have a feeling both.
And it's not up to the customer.
Oh, there was a mention of a viral TikTok because she's trying so desperately to go viral that what she's doing is she's pulling clips and she's giving her opinion on them, which are totally ill-informed.
Or to feel guilty that they can't subsidize the waiter's wages or the waitress. You know what I mean? And I mean that respectfully. I think waitresses and waiters and food servers, they do work hard. I think that you should pay them appropriately. It's a form of customer service. I used to get paid, some places like $12 an hour for customer service.
That is not the same thing. You are not in an environment sitting on the phone versus what they're doing. Number one, they have a whole different set of workplace catastrophes that could go on. They have to deal with the prospect of food allergy reactions. They have to deal with ensuring that they are practicing appropriate food handling, which, by the way, they have to pay for that training for. Okay, they have to deal with people being full-on assholes right to their face versus over a telephone or behind a computer screen. They are dealing with people at their worst. You calling randos out of the phone book to try to sell them carpet cleaning is not the same thing. All them people had to do was hang up on you. You didn't have to look them in their damn face. Waiters and waitresses do.
So I'm not cheap. I'm not anti-tipping entirely, but I think it's gone far enough. Like a bit too far with the expectations, What set this all off is I see TikTok videos, and I saw one woman. She worked with DoorDash, okay? And I don't know if you saw this clip. It was viral. Yep. And she was knocking at the guy's door, and she was saying she brought his delivery, and she was like, "Are you crazy? Like, do you know?" I'm paraphrasing. Do you know how far the restaurant is to your home? It's like 40 minutes, and you only tipped $8. Lady, $8 is a lot. And why take the assignment if you if it's too far. You can't, like, people are just relying on people tipping. It's so, like, and like she was so just ungrateful about it, and like only $8. That's like symbolizes perfectly how people see tipping nowadays.
I wonder if she has any sort of idea at how places like DoorDash and Uber Eats pays people. On certain apps, all you get is the tip. You don't get any supplemental pay from the company. There's a reason why a lot of these delivery drivers, they do pass up the ones that don't have a tip attached because they don't want to be out no money knowing that they're not fixing to get anything to cover the money that they're spending. Certain apps will allow them to pick and choose, but it just depends on which app. That's what I got told. One of my friends actually does DoorDash, so she was saying something like that. We only apply that when we feel like it.
Like, it's just never enough, it seems. Even if people tip $2, $2, $3, that adds up if you're working a full shift and every table gives you $2 to $3, which that's manageable for people to do.
Not if they're dealing with assholes like you on the regularly who don't leave a tip at all.
So at the end of the day, if you're serving it's an extra, let's say an extra $30 to $40 a day.
Let's also add real quick that there are complete fuckwits like you who claim that they didn't get what they ordered or they dine and dash. Take a guess at who eats that money. The staff. Take a guess at where that money to cover that bill comes from. The staff. There is so much about her not having a total fucking clue, but speaking with authority on this, that irks the fuck out of me.
Hey, a lot of people don't get $30 to $40 a day over top of their salary just for doing their job. So anyway, the DoorDash woman who was complaining, took the food back. She just left with the food.
So that's what bothered you then?
$3, yeah. But if you go to eat and your bill's $80, it's like what, over $20 tip? I don't know, I'm bad at math, but it's a huge tip.
Ma'am, if you order a $100 meal, then that means that waiter and waitress has had to make multiple trips to your table to pick up, to drop off, to give refills. And that's not even considering the fact that they probably have an entire section full of tables that they are doing the same thing for. And do you know what they're doing? They're doing that for you with a fucking smile on their face when you're an arrogant fuck. So they've earned every bit of their tip.
That's like one meal. So you're tipping a whole meal just to go out and eat?
Okay. So first off, I've worked in the food service industry, so I completely understand the necessity for tipping. And because of the fact that I understand the predicament that they're in, not only do I tip well. The last time I went out to eat, you guys saw it, it was on video. I went to Olive Garden. My waitress was over 65 years old. She made 2 trips to my table the entire time, and I tipped her almost half what my bill was. Do you know why? Because number one, she was an incredibly sweet lady. Number 2, she was in a section literally as big, like probably 3 feet wide and about 6 feet long. She only had 4 tables, which means she physically could not manage more than that. So yes, I gave her probably a massive tip in comparison to what my bill is because obviously she needed it. At that age, there is no reason why she should not be sitting somewhere comfortably with her little kitty cat sitting in her lap reading a book. It's shit like that you have to take into consideration. There are plenty of people out here in this great wide world who have reasons for why they're waiting tables. And they're not doing it for the fun of it, Foodie.
Wait, but
Okay, real quick, this is completely off topic, but this tickled the shit out of me, and I wanted y'all to appreciate it with me. I want to know what Garlic Bread was thinking when he made this video, y'all.
this is how the interaction went. Is it vanilla? No, it's red velvet. I love red velvet.
Hey, guys.
It went. Is it vanilla? No, it's red velvet. I love red velvet. Yes, I know. I mean, why? Why do you put that in there?
Oh, my God. That got me. It got me the first time I heard it, too. Is it vanilla? Oh, Jesus, what was Garlic Bread thinking? Oh, my God. Whoo. Man, I'm not a real big fan of garlic bread, but I'm going to tell you, I busted a gut when I heard that. I am not going to lie. Ooh, Jesus. Oh, my good Lord Almighty. Oh, good gracious alive. All right, real quick. I just want to see how bad this is. Hang on, let this thing get through the credits here. Let me find it. All right, so I'm gonna share screen one more again. Y'all gonna help me help me sit through this damn reaction, because I am fucking nervous as shit to see what he has to say. This just, oh Jesus, I'm sweating again.
Certain people I would love to call out, and maybe one day I will spend an entire live stream doing them. We can react to some volleys, some, what is that other squished bee, busy little bee?
Volley, squish this, squish that. No. Let's react. Let's watch somebody that reacted to Just Breezing. I mean, this person, and I got a shot, if you can put her link in the chat. Her name is One Salty Beach. Now, the reason why I listen to One Salty Beach is because she is somebody that has gone through what Just Breezing has gone through. And
Yo,
she
I'm fucking
speaks
nervous.
on, this is not the way to go about it on the aftermath of now being sober. Go ahead, talk to us, Salty.
A clip got sent to me where apparently Breezy had something to say about me in her
Got something to say about
in her
everybody.
live, where she said, I don't care if she likes me or not. I'm just here to retweet things on Twitter. Okay, well, let's just address it.
Yeah.
First off, it ain't that I don't like you,
Mhm.
and it ain't that I like you. I don't like what you've shown me. I don't like
Talk
the
that.
fact that you are incredibly sanctimonious. I
Talk
don't like the fact that you use your sobriety as a weapon against other people. I don't like the fact that
Spit facts.
rules for thee but not for me.
Spit all these facts.
When you dish things out but you can't take them when they're issued back to you, those are the things that I don't like. You roll into this perpetual victimhood. You own no responsibility in any of the things that you involve yourself in. Those are the things that I don't like. Okay, I don't know you. I don't care to know you. You hold no major place in my life or my thought processes. until you bring me up.
This woman is spitting facts. I gotta say this, just reason. You need you and this is what I find really funny about Just Reason, and that's why I showed how she lies about
I feel a little better.
attacking people behind the
Woo,
scenes.
holy Jesus,
Just
y'all. I was
Reason,
sweating
I've
over
noticed
here.
this a lot with her. She will attack you, she will retweet something about you, she will laugh at you, or she will say something in somebody else's comment. And then when you confront her
Love
about
you
the
too,
bullshit,
creepy. You're
she
awesome.
tries to wash her hands of it. She goes, but wait a minute. Okay.
You would have got him for me?
No. I just like this stuff. That doesn't mean I'm attached to this person or I'm attached to what they're saying. Or she'll be in somebody's stream and she'll be all buddy with a creator, right, in their stream, and then they'll say some foul shit. Like one of the people that she follows said some foul shit about gaining ground being a ped. And then Just Breezing will wash her hands of it and say, well, I like the video, I played the video, but I don't have no association with the video. I'm just
it's a little bit of a fight or flight response. I'm just kind of bracing for impact, Riley. That's all.
This person, and I watch their videos and I'm in their chat.
I can't help
that
it.
doesn't mean I'm grouped up with them. But I find it highly hypocritical.
I say, okay. I say that it was just a little bit of a fight or flight. I'm kind of bracing for, impact simply because, your mama can be a little brutal. It's just like, holy fuck, I'm nervous. And I actually told him that in the chat, I miss working at care homes, but I cry hard when one dies. Well, see, and I had to learn to kind of undo that. Yeah, I know, but it's just a thing, Salty knows I like and will defend Breezy, but I also like and defend Salty. Well, no, I don't really feel like you've actually full on defended Breezy, but I think you have asked me questions to clarify like what I'm saying and when I say something like what I mean and why. And that's fine. I mean, that's just like saying, okay, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from here. Yeah, just as a generality, I do get that way, like, especially when, I've seen him like tear in and I'm just like, oh, I'm nervous. Yeah, he can be very brutal if he chooses to be. So the fact that he's been very kind to me thus far, I am appreciative of that,
When you do that with me and Jessica Messica, if I'm in Jessica Messica's chat or I'm not laughing at her video or something that she says, doesn't she always group me with Jessica Messica? Doesn't she go, oh, him and Jessica Messica are besties. He was in Jessica Messica's chat at 3 a.m. You do the same. But then when somebody turn it around on you, you go, you watch it. I'm just here to watch. Get out of here with that shit. You want to be associated with these people? You want to be with these people? Then be with these people. But go ahead.
Do you notice that I didn't even say anything when you retweeted that?
Talk that shit.
Because it's really not worth the time or the energy. I don't really care.
Talk it.
But please, I ain't said a whole hell of a lot of nothing about you other than the fact that the things that you do cause me concern as a sober person.
Talk it.
In relation to sobriety and the behaviors that you show.
Preach.
We can gladly talk about it if you want to, but you are the one making this about, well, if she don't like me, I don't care.
Mm-mm.
What is the problem?
Exactly.
If you felt soundly in what you believe, if you felt soundly in your sobriety, if you felt soundly in the things that you feel you're doing correctly, then you would have had no problems discussing them with anybody, right? I have no interest in a petty high school back and forth with you, my dear. I just know.
She talking that talk. She talking like she a youngster. Like she talking to, like she patting her in the head. Like, I ain't got no time for all of this. Like, I don't, like, your back and forth. I'm just trying to lay game on you. When somebody trying to lay game on you, you got to understand, Just Breeze is the type of person, when you automatically say some things about her and
No, and you completely are, honey, and don't worry about ever asking questions or anything. I don't mind like the back and forth and talking about it and kind of ironing things out if there seems to be like a misunderstanding. So no, girl, totally fine, totally fine. Miss T, so okay, we're kind of sort of reacting to your mama reacting to me because he told me he was going to react to me, and I'm going to tell you I was nervous as fuck as to exactly how this was going to go because him can be a little brutal sometimes, so please know, unlike most of this world, Girl World, you and like 2 other channels are pretty genuine and refreshing. I am mostly out of Girl World other than you, Sansa and Ayas. Well, I mean, it's sad that with the way things have been going lately, and I point that out a lot, that it's gotten incredibly extreme when it doesn't need to be. I mean, once upon a time, we were all kind of a united front against the girls and the foolishness that is going on with them. And now it has almost become a cannibalism thing. And I said it in the short where that PSA short that I did, I'm like, it's turned into a Game of Thrones warring camps sort of thing. And I don't jive with that. I don't hold any allegiance to anybody but me. I mean, I like Hannibal. I genuinely do. I like Curl. I genuinely do. I like Busy. I genuinely do. But I'm not going to go to war with anybody over any of them because that's not my battle to fight. So I especially am not fixing to get into headbutt sessions and full-on wars over who I choose to watch simply because they happen to be on at the time. I actually had somebody in Yo Mama's chat when I made the comment that he's never insulted my appearance, that said to me, I used to like you until you came in here. Talk about a disappointment. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm here watching and interacting just like everybody else, yourself included. I don't understand this whole, this is this person's camp and that's that person's camp. First off, I said it. If this were a Game of Thrones type situation, the only colors flying from my battlement is mine. That's it. I have alliances with people, obviously. There are things that I'm willing to do with people. I am willing to panel up with Hannibal any day of the week. And that's because Hannibal has never done dirty by me. He's always respectable. We have great conversations. We laugh, we cut up, we have a good time. That is what I care about. If I can't have any sort of fun with you, if I can't have a rational conversation with you, then I don't want to be a part of it. And that's what brought this whole situation with him reacting to this video up to begin with. JB does not lead from a place of rational. She doesn't even know where to find it on a fucking map. And that's why she and I are not meant to coexist. And it's fine. But acknowledge that that is the case and stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I said I'm not doing no high school games. I don't do that. I got too much on my fucking plate as a grown-ass adult with a job, a home to maintain, and an education to get to be dealing with mean girl high school fuckery. I don't understand any of it. And it is ongoing with full-grown adults for all of us to see. And I don't get that. Thank you, Rebecca. My thoughts exactly. The problem is most talk some mess and then don't resolve issues the adult way, instead talking smack. Thank you. See, first off, I actually had a couple of people in the comment section that were like, man, you came through, you laid it out, whatever. And I was just like, normally I probably wouldn't have said anything, but I could not let this go because there is no way some 15-year-old woman child is going to talk down to me. No way in hell. Even if it is from behind your fucking computer screen. You better roll through with some fucking respect, or you better stay where the fuck you were at. That's just the position that I take on it. I am not disrespectful to people. I will not will not accept that from anyone in return. The only person who ever had a free pass to talk to me any old kind of way is my mother, and she's no longer here. So yeah, it pissed me off a little bit. I like the owl. She's also straight from the hip. I don't watch this guy. He turns off doing skits about dead dogs. Well, I'm gonna say this. I mean, and I've said this about Yo Mama before. I mean, some of his humor can be very off color, and I don't really jive with all of it. And if he gets at that point where he leads into something like that, a lot of times I will kind of bow out. But you know, he does have streams where he is basically just responding and, you know, making points and everything. And he does have some, and, you know, that are valid and they're cohesive, you know, and those are the ones that I can appreciate, you know. I agree. You should not have to. Everybody out here, whether we have channels or not, we were viewers first and we continue to be viewers. That is the basis by which we function. Without us being viewers, we would have nothing to respond to. This is not simply limited to the internet entirely. I mean, this sort of behavior, seeing things and responding or giving our insight or whatever, and that's a day-to-day interactive thing. That's how we kind of integrate ourselves into the world. We see things and then we talk about them. So, I mean, I don't really understand why it is that people take something like this when it has no actual effect on the day-to-day of their individual lives, that why they would allow it to become so serious, you know? Yeah, he's not for everybody. I hear this. I watch you and a few others just because they have some respect and morals. I love your videos and vlogs. They're fun. Also keep you in thoughts for you at work. Thank you. I appreciate that. I will take all the good hoodoo I can get these days. Right. High school should have stayed in high school. I don't talk any smack. Right. And see, I'm the exact same way. And I actually bring that up in this video. I'm glad I have to follow you all the way through. I'm starting school. Yay, HR. That's awesome. Girl, that right there requires so much math. So much math. I got nothing but respect for you. So much respect. I don't see how you do it. All right. Let me write out the rest of this. Let me put my damn glasses back on too, because my eyeballs bother me.
Actions she has done, she just automatically looks at it as a threat. She automatically looks at everything as a fucking attack. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy. Go ahead, talk it.
That me and you are not meant to coexist in this realm.
Mm-hmm.
Just like I also know, and I have said it before, that you do not, by any manner, shape, form, represent sobriety for me.
Right.
And for a lot of sober people.
Probably
The difference between you and I is in this particular situation, I am addressing you directly with no issue doing so.
You know,
So
you know what's really crazy about Salty Beach is this is the first time I've watched her on panels a lot, and I watched her talk a lot. This is the first time, or probably one other time, I heard her even mention how she's now sober from what she went through. She doesn't mention how she used to drink and she used to be a drunk and she knows what it is to be drunk all the time. Like, she barely talks about it. She goes on when there's a subject being talked about, she's talking about the subject. She's on panel mentioning and talking about what the subject is. Just breezing, it don't matter what the fucking subject is. It doesn't matter what she's talking about. Her sobriety is her being drunk sometime down the line of her life is going to be mentioned. She's going to talk about those days where she was drunk at the 7-Eleven or she was behind the 7.
Let me see. I'm being nosy now. I'm leaning in to look at the chat. Let's see what the chat's saying. California sober, what a joke. Doesn't use Taboo Tiffany says doesn't use it as a shield. Betty Boykin says breezy brain is equal to a 10-year-old. QZ says, hi QZ, and how she was kidnapped by the pimp. Random Roulette says most people don't use it as a crutch. Jack T says it's annoying when that's all you talk about. 100%. That Amber chick, hi Amber, I love you. She's very down to earth. I like that about her.
11, so drunk that she was passing out. She's going to mention that shit. Salty Beach rarely talks about it. And when it's brought up and when it's a subject, then she talks about it. See, that is somebody that I find that is sober and now living past what she did in the past. You can tell. But Just Breezing is like always talking about the past over and over again. Oh, yeah, I'm at home today. But if this was 3 years ago, I'd be outside getting drunk.
I had to pause this real quick. Listen to this one. Goddess of Pain, WPW, says in the chat, because sobriety is not a crutch or a flex. It's our own battle to bear, and some of us realize that shit. That is 100% facts. Well, okay, here's the deal. Miss T, I get that. There are some people who do, but it's been my experience that is usually old timers. In the groups that I've been in, the people that eat, sleep, breathe sobriety are the ones that have 25 years, 30 years, 35 years. The ones that go in there and say, my name is Bob Jones and I'm an alcoholic. They throw that anonymity shit out the window. That is their entire life. But, you know, I mean, God's honest truth. I mean, I've said it before, and I said this to Jessica when I reacted to some of Jessica's stream. Sobriety is not really all there is to you. It is a part of you. It is one piece of the great tapestry of who you are as a person. Sobriety changes how you interact with the world and how you view things. And that's really all there is to it. It's not just about the not drinking. That's why I'm always talking about the spiritual side and the mental and physical and emotional health of it all, because being abstinent is not enough. We have to repair those things inside ourselves that are broken. You know, if that makes sense. You give somebody long enough and they'll tell you everything they need to know. And in this girl world, it's usually pretty quick. Yeah, I agree with that, Camby. Hi, by the way. I don't even think I saw you say anything when you first came in. They don't use it as a weapon against others. That's my issue with just reason. I would never say such nasty things about somebody who's fighting a battle. I thought it just ain't right. Yeah, and that's a point that I've made. You know, if you've lived through that hell, why would you rub somebody's face in it? That's the part that I just can't get behind.
Like, what? Who asked you? She wants to create a whole Patreon. Created a whole Patreon to talk about how she used to get drunk. That does not sound like a sober person. Yeah, I created a Patreon because, you know, I can't talk about go to details on the stuff that I did when I was drunk. Who does that? A lunatic. Go ahead.
Unless you actually want to talk about it, then there's really no reason for you to even mention the fact that I don't like the things that you do or to even bring my name up.
Facts.
And the fact is, there are a lot of people out here who don't like you.
Mm-hmm.
And based on the things that I've seen said,
yeah,
a lot of it is justified because it's all based off of your individual behavior, man.
Exactly. Now, I'm not going to play the whole video. But go ahead. Almost did. But go ahead and check out Salty Beach and go watch that. I mean, what she was spitting right there was just facts. It ain't even coming, and it didn't come from somebody that hates her or don't like her or covers her all the time. This is just coming from a person that's sitting back and observing her actions. And there's another group, I gotta say, Farida and Moon also had made some good points here. I want to play this also. They were speaking on Just Breezing.
This is the one, yeah.
And then this GB stuff. Oh gosh. GB, I'm sorry. Nobody should be talking about your mom, I guess, but you're the one who used your mom to play about.
Oh, okay. I agree with that, Val. And I am not trying to say that she should not have the ability to express or talk about her sobriety. But when she is telling people that they're a mean, nasty drunk, I can't be okay with that. I mean, if you'll think about this, when we're in active addiction, we already have enough self-hatred without somebody rubbing our faces in it. If you want to help somebody, which is, what she says she is trying to do and that she wants to do, wouldn't one be better served to lead with compassion? I've had a few sponsors over the years on the first round of sobriety and on this one. And I always seek out the people that, one, have the things that I want. And I'm not talking about physical things. I'm talking about spiritually, mentally. And those people always make it abundantly clear that there is no amount of anything that you can say that will make someone want to get sober. That realistically, as sober people, all we can do is live our lives in such a way that we present ourselves as an example of what sobriety could be for them. I've said it before. I don't care what she does. I care more about how she is affecting other people. Because that steps away from that self-accountability that we are supposed to have. Especially when things are said, and then it's, how dare you say that? How dare you say anything back to me? I am not talking ugly to her and have not really yet. Saying that me agreeing with Foodie that one time about me thinking that it's crazy that she was jumping from place to place to place trying to make money online. That was me just agreeing with someone and saying that the point was valid and that it made sense. I have not called her a drug addict. I have not called her a bad parent. I haven't called her anything other than simply to say that what I see her doing, that she's sharing with us, is that it makes me concerned and that it makes me worry. I agree. Everyone's journey is different. and hers is her own to deal with. And I said that earlier today. If she is of the type that, wants to do what she wants to do, then that's fine. But don't club people over the head with it. I'm absolutely ashamed of some of the things that I did when I wasn't sober. The things I've done since being right. See, and that's, see, Amber understands me on that front. That's more of what I'm talking about. If you live in the problem, you're not out of the problem. And if you're continuing to live in the problem, then how much of the problem have you changed? If that makes any sense. I know early on I needed both, the ones who lead with compassion and the ones who told me to stop fucking up my life. I love them equally now. Even back in year one, I hated the meanies. Yeah. I mean, God's honest truth. I mean, I'm not, okay. When I say lead with compassion, I mean one of those situations where you're like, I understand what you're going through. If you ever want to talk, I'm here. These people didn't ask for her opinion. These people didn't ask for her to intervene. She applied herself to it. She put herself in it. Now, as to like the telling me to fuck up my life thing, I mean, yeah, everybody needs accountability when they're brand new in. But, and it does need to be higher when you're brand new. You do need people to call you on your shit, but it's not what you say, it's how you say it, See, same with me, Amber. I can be very stubborn. I don't like to be told what to do, especially since even my dad has said it. He's like, you haven't asked us for permission to do anything since you were 15 years old. So early in, the first time around, second time when I fell off and I came back, that for me, I was not resistant to it then. But the first time when I was still struggling with the prospect of even having a problem, it was difficult. And I was stubborn. I was trying so hard to do things in my own way. But as I fell down on my face and I fucked things up and I learned my lessons, my sponsor was just like, so how'd that work out for you? So, I mean, and eventually over time, I did learn to kind of grasp, hey, they're saying this because they want what's best for me, Me too, Amber. I never once glorified shit I did when I was at that time in my life is full of embarrassment. Right. Is that wallpaper? No. It actually is wallpaper. You can order them on Etsy, believe it or not. Being sober 10 plus bills, I have a bit of armor, so it's important not to push an opinion not wanted. Yeah. And I mean, imagine when I say like about her and her kind of forcing the issue, your people that are in active addiction, those are not the people that you really, unless they want the input, the quickest way to get them to rebel against you is to shove your opinion in their face. It's just, I don't know. I'm not embarrassed of my past, but I'm not proud of it. I have 10 years and I'm good with me. Yeah. I mean, realistically, the way I've always looked at it is I'm not proud of the things that I did in my past, but I've learned from them and I make it a point never to be there again. I'm not going to go around and just say, hey, guess what I did when I was drunk, I would, the only people I have ever shared that with are people in meetings or people brand new in recovery who are coming in, who they're just like, I am so embarrassed. I don't even want to talk about it. And it's like, look, there probably ain't much that you've done that I haven't done either. And then I'll give an example. And then they just kind of like, you can see them visibly relax because they're so worried that people are going to judge them. And what we see in the conversations that have gone on from her toward other people, it is judgment. And it's issued with a sharp tongue. You know, that's the part that I can't get behind. Right. And see, that's part of why, like, creepy, like, as I'm around, as you're around more, you'll see I talk about the things that I have that I want to do and the steps that I'm taking to do them and, you know, stuff like that, because you guys are kind of a motivator for me, because I know you're going to ask, well, how is this going? Where are we at with that? What's the next step toward this? And people do ask. You know, I have said many times that I will not be an Amber or a foodie. If I tell you that I'm going to do something, then I'm going to do it. You know, I've always been that type of person, but knowing that I would have to come on here and tell you guys, well, I said I was going to do that. And, you know, I just couldn't muster the energy to do it, or whatever, you know, like take the thing with like I was supposed to have like a chemical peel tomorrow. The only reason I'm not able to do that is my esthetician has the funk and she canceled on me. If she were perfectly healthy, I would be going through with all that and you guys would be going along on the ride with me. The only time I am not willing to follow through is if I'm relying on someone else to help me complete something and they're not able to finish the task, you know. I guess it's obviously a personality differentiation in this whole situation. But, you know, another thing that I don't really do is the passive aggressive stuff either. That's why I made the video and tagged and addressed direct like that, because I mean, I just don't see the need. We're supposed to be adults. Let's talk about it. If you don't want to talk about it online, fine. Send me an email, you know, but help me understand exactly what is going on and why this is happening, because none of it makes sense, you know? And since this has started, it is progressively pick. And it's just like, say what you're going to say and let's be done with it. For God's sake. Nothing but love, abundance, system recovery, nothing but love and compassion. Exactly. And that's the way it should be. That's the way it should be. They are us. Just at a different step in the journey. That's all. That's all. Yes, it is. It is. Okay, so between you and Vanessa here, apparently one of the classes that I'm going to have to take, because I have pussyfooted around and found a way to skirt it previously, is algebra. College algebra fucks me up. Vanessa has already offered to do all my algebra homework for me. So I may have to use the two of y'all as tutors at some point, because I'm going to need help. Yeah, me too. I absolutely despise math. I've never been great at it, you know. So it is. I don't know any other way to be. You know, my mother was very much like this. I have sort of polar opposite parents in that regard. My dad was always very smiley, very, play nice. I'm going to, play the game. And then when you turn around and walk away, I'm going to roll my eyes. My dad is one of those. My mom, on the other hand, will look at you and smile in your face and will say exactly what she thinks. So this is sort of a learned thing that has been like continually reinforced over the years. That's part of, I think, the reason why me and my dad have always like headbutt each other on so many things, because we're two different personality types, I think a challenge for JB is that she didn't stay in a 12-step program, so she doesn't have the tools. But see, that is okay. But there's nothing saying that she can't change that. Hi, Kaya. How you doing? Help with what? Help with what? If she's busy, let me know. I love some algebra, but any other subject, I'm awful at it. See, I'm fine with everything else. It's just the math. It's hemming me up. I'm here for you. Love math as long as I'm wearing my glasses. Hi, Grateful. It's good to see you. How you? 64 months. Go ahead. Do it, Val. That's what I'm talking about. One day at a time. Your mom, I'm sure, is proud of who you are. You have a heart, and out of care, say things honestly, but with compassion. I try. And that's why I said, like, at one point, I did get a little heated, but this whole thing, it was me dialing it back. I mean, I was just like, I wanted that old behavior in me. Of course, it's always there. The old behavior never goes away. It's simply about how we manage it. And like I said, old behavior for me would have been to eviscerate old girl and to just rip her to shreds. But I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Even though I was a little worked up when I first, when I got to the very end of that video, I was just like, you have a nice day. But I still said that, you have a nice day. I was just like, I don't know what to do. See, Rebecca, my mom said the same thing, but my dad and I completely disagree on that front. My mom, me and him would get into an argument, and she would be sitting there watching it going, how does it feel to argue with yourself? But I mean, when we, not only do we disagree about it, but depending upon who I'm interacting with, depends on what sort of response I get. Because like most people who know me, they're like, oh my God, you're so much like your mama. You're just a foot taller than her. There have been some people that I've worked with, when me and my dad worked together like 24 years ago, a girl that worked with us then said, who you talk like? You talk just like that dude that works over on the Alzheimer's wing. And everybody around us started laughing. She was like, what? And they were like, that's his kid. And she was like, oh, okay, well, that makes sense then. She's like, you kind of look like him too, so I don't know. I don't think so. Our perspective and everything is way too different for me to say that we're that much alike, but I don't know. Both my mother are cutthroat, but my mom was always nicer about it. My dad was my person and very much the reason I am the way I am. Girl, see, and that's the deal. My mom for me, that she was my person without fail. My mom was a CFO until she retired. Probably. Hi, Panda. Thank you. Actually, I don't know if you saw, did you see the other ones, like the longer ones, the librarian glasses, my backup pair? I was talking I know you guys saw the picture that I posted of me and Heather when we were talking on video chat, and she had the French fry thing, filter thing on. I just trying the glasses on to show them to her, and I put those other ones on, and she just burst out in tears. This was before she put the filters on, but she just burst out in tears. And I was like, what? And she was like, you look so much like your mama with them glasses on. And I'm going to tell you, it took everything in me not to lose it. I mean, not to lose it. I mean, there is so much of me in that I'm not going to lie that I've been told that my voice, I've had it happen many times over the years. Like when I've answered the phone at my parents' house, that people thought it was my mom answering the phone. But I even noticed it one day that I was I laughed at something, and this was probably a week or two after my mom passed. We were all together, and something was going on in the car, and I started laughing, and then all I could hear was my mom's voice laughing, and I had to stop. Sorry. No, I know, but I just don't want to, I refuse to lash out at people, if that makes sense, creepy. I'm so glad, because I was just like, it was taking everything in me just not to, and actually I had a couple of people, I had somebody tell me at one point that they're like, that was like a mic drop. You have a nice day. I didn't mean it to be funny, but I'm kind of glad that it was, to add some levity to the situation, I like that new guy with all his demands for girlfriend sex anytime you want, and buy mom food or clean his granny. My mom would offer the devil a glass of sweet tea and say, that's a nice shade of red. She was way too sweet for that. My dad, though, whew, Lord. Yeah, see, well, I mean, I don't know if it's one of those things or not, but I've heard it said that when the first child of the family is a daughter, the daughter tends to be like her father. Now, I don't think so, but that's what I've heard, if that makes sense. Thank you. I appreciate that. Bless your heart. I don't know if I could do that. I know. I wasn't expecting the bucket to start leaning like that. I don't want it to tip over. I don't like it I don't like the tipping over thing, because I turn into just a blubbering mess for a couple of minutes, It is. And, I don't know what, I went like a while where the bucket tipping was like obviously happening all the time. And I've gotten to a point where I'm just like, okay, it's spreading out, the tip over is still just as strong as it used to be, but they're spreading out, maybe I'm going to be a little bit more equipped. I'll be a little bit okay, sort of deal. And, it doesn't matter how far apart it gets. It's not any easier, it sucks. It definitely was a mic drop moment. I was thinking, oh, that's a Southern you have a nice day, which is much sometimes. Yeah, pretty much. So I'm guessing that means you're a lot like your dad then. Don't be sorry. We all miss our departed loved ones, but realize it's right. Yeah, I know. And, I do have a lot of them. And, like I've got a video that I could show you guys one day, just to kind of give you guys an idea of how my mom was as a person. And, everybody always saw her, for the most part. Most people in our community, they only really knew her from work. They didn't know that she was kind of a character, and that, she really loved life. She loved medicine. She absolutely lived and breathed what she did, and she was amazing at her job. But she had this just amazing, overwhelming spirit to her that a lot of people didn't get to see, and it's stuff like that that's the stuff that I lend back to, I miss it. I'm the baby and the only girl so far. My dad, and far more like my dad's than my brothers. That's weird. I wonder why. Well, some of that could be too that you're the only girl. See, you really kind of had it made, Miss T. I mean, you guys have met Daniel at one point. Daniel is actually my younger brother. We are the two biological siblings. My mom's parents died when she was like super young. She was 10 and 12 when she lost each of her parents. And when my folks got married, they were 16 when they got married. And in the same day that they got married, they adopted my youngest aunt and uncle, my mom's siblings. And my sister, I'm 45, she's 52. And my brother is 56 or 57. I can't entirely 100% remember. But we were all raised together. And, it was a lot. I mean, you kind of, the dynamics are really weird because I guess I have eldest child tendencies, but I also have like a middle child sort of tendency to me too. I mean, it's just, the crazy thing is like with the older two siblings, I actually get onto them like I'm the eldest sibling. Like, especially with my sister. I love my sister, but she's a handful. I'd like that. I think you guys would get a kick out of her because she was a mess. It doesn't get easier. Yeah, well, I actually, in the speech at her memorial service, I said that, one of the things that my mother understood that a lot of people, I don't think really gets a grasp on is the fact that you don't overcome loss. You just find a way to integrate it into who you are. And her having lost her parents at such a young age, she could have gone down a lot of really dark avenues, and she didn't. She took them and applied them and laid them into the foundation of this amazing, successful, intelligent person that she became. And, I've said it plenty of times. I want to be just like her when I grow up, I always think about my dad would be, and I'm still so sad, but you're absolutely correct. Time does fix shit. I do feel him around me though when I got sideswiped. Well, I had a conversation, like I had a tarot reading with Jessie Retro. I've told you guys about her before. She is very, very, very good. And she told me she actually has a medium sort of thing too going on. And I guess you could set up something like that with her if you wanted to. But she was doing a reading for me and she just stopped cold in the middle of it. And she said, "Hey, look," she said, "I'm hearing this and I just want to say it so that I don't lose it before I move on to the next thing." She said, "I'm hearing, if you've got something to say, just say it to me. I'm listening, you're just not talking." And she said to me, she's like, "I know you may feel like you're alone." She's like, "But you're not." She's like, "Your mother is paying attention. She's very close to you and she is listening to everything that you're saying." And I'm going to tell you, I got off of that with her and I lost it for a minute. And then I just proceeded to unload. And I felt better. But, it's still really hard to have those sorts of conversations with her because I want so badly for her to tell me what to do, to help me figure out how to get through this, And see, that would be Mom. Would you calm the hell down, please? She absolutely was, And I tell people all the time, if I get to be half the woman she was and a quarter of the nurse, I'm going to be doing fucking amazing. I'm going to be fucking world changing amazing, Yeah. And it's proof that, your family is your family, but, the roles that they play in your family, they can change. They can, adjust. And that was one of the scenarios that, that sort of thing happens in. And I don't think it happens nearly as much as it should anymore. I noticed this week for the first time I didn't cry today who passed in 2019. In that moment, I was really healing. Yeah. And I'm doing what I can, I don't have quarters or anything else with dimes. I've got 5 shot glasses, watched 2 and kept water full of times. I lost my dad in 1998. Yeah. Shit ain't gonna tell you a lie. Fucking eats me alive. Eats me alive sometimes. Yeah. My mother's thing was hummingbirds. I hadn't really seen too many. Mainly because, especially since I've moved here, I don't think I've seen any hummingbirds here. Maybe I'm just too close to the coast or something. Thanks, Amber. I actually had my mom's best friend called me, and she was talking to me, and she actually said, she's like, I need to tell you, she was like, the last time we had dinner, which was like a month before she passed away, she was like, we were asking how everybody was doing. And, she was talking about you and your brother, Daniel. And she was like, oh, she's like, Daniel's doing good. Daniel's my little sensitive one with his little soft heart and this and that and whatever. And, she says, and Heather, she's like, man, she's like, I don't know what to make of her. She's like, I never really have. She's like, she is such a strong person. She's like so much stronger than I could ever possibly think about being. Knowing what all I know about my mom, that was really hard to hear initially. But what she said is she said, I have watched her beat herself down over and over and over again. And she says, and do you know, no matter how many times she does that, she says she picks herself right back up again. She says, and she emerges even stronger through the other side of it. She says, I don't know anybody who's built like that. She says, I'm not even built like that. She says, I'm really kind of jealous of her to be built to have that capability. She says, but, honestly, she said, some of it's probably because I was her mother. So, I was just like, leave it to my mom to make a joke, about her being difficult when she was actually the least difficult person I ever had close to me, Oh my goodness. My dad used to carve roadrunners and such for a hobby. That's really cool. See, I've never really been inclined to be able to do stuff like that. That's awful. Yeah, that's awful. I can't even imagine, losing a child. I'm really sorry to hear all that, Riley. I asked my dad if he could start laying $50 bills around. That's funny. Billy, help a girl out. She wants to retire early. And that's the thing. I make a lot of jokes. We talk a lot of crap about the girls and stuff on here, but, I don't know how many of you went back and watched the first few videos that I posted. A lot of what drew me in here was basically talking about the fact that I was trying to figure out, is basically me trying to establish what my new normal was and learning to manage without my mom here, and that, I never wanted anybody to feel like the way that they were dealing with their grief was wrong, because I did get told that. I got told that a few times. You're not the only one going through this, It's like, I know I'm not, but fucking be here for me and let me deal with this moment, especially after I spent the first 3 or 4 months kind of holding everybody up so that they didn't fucking collapse around me, because that was what my mom was. She was the person that held everybody up, and I just didn't have that. I didn't have that from anybody. Yeah, they are. And, but that's okay. Even without the loss of somebody we care about, there are always going to be hard days, It doesn't matter really what the circumstances are. We just got to kind of learn to manage. And that's kind of what we're doing. We're just like all things, we're taking it a day at the time, an hour at the time, 5 minutes at the time, whatever we need. I would be good with that. See, and this stuff like this is why I am really glad that Shannon pushed me into taking the step to create this channel, because honestly, I wanted good people. I wanted good people to interact with and to talk to things about and to share the craziness, the little bit of craziness in my life that does go on at times, and you guys have been really amazing, and y'all deal with my fuckery every now and again and laugh at me when I'm acting like a crazy person. So, I appreciate that, and I'm grateful for you guys. And I'm great. And I am incredibly, incredibly grateful for the fact that you guys are so kind to each other and that you're supportive of one another. We need more of that. Yeah. Shannon didn't really get, I don't think Shannon really got as much of a fair shake as she deserved and everything, because Shannon is actually a really lovely person, and she's on her own journey and she's been dealing with her own loss, and there's been so much going on with her that the fact that she's still making forward progress says a lot about her as a person, despite all the pitfalls and everything going on. I think Foodie's behavior tainted a lot of the reception that she got coming into this arena. But Shannon was always very kind to me, and I emailed Shannon after she lost her dad, and I explained to her, the situation with my mom, and I told her, I said, I understand completely where you're at. And I want you to know that it's everything that you're feeling is it's normal and it's okay for you to feel that way. And, she and I had a few conversations, and she was incredibly sweet and very, very loving and, just kind. And I think that a lot of the sort of responses that people give to her, she is very like me in the fact that she just doesn't have a filter. She just says what she says. And a lot of people, it rubs people the wrong way, I think, because of the preconceived notion that a lot of people have about her based on the things that have been said about her, which is sad to me. I should create a community within a community called Pandas. The difference between general girl world that infighting is acknowledged from the start, but no one likes everyone's opinion. I think that's an amazing idea, Panda. I agree. The before and after pictures of Shannon are amazing. If that makes sense, she's working on finding peace. Yes, she is. And you can tell that she is a lot more in tune with how she feels and how she's engaging with things than she used to be. And that says a lot to how far she's come. She's made really great strides. I'm proud of her. Thank you for starting this channel. I really do enjoy it. I'm really glad I found it. I'm always excited when I get to see your coin live. Nutty, I'm glad that you're here. You've always been really sweet. I appreciate you. I appreciate every one of you, man. I mean, I do know that and I said it at one point, I don't really consider myself a reaction channel at this point. I just come on here to shoot the breeze with you guys, and we talk crap about two of the biggest booty holes on the plane on the YouTubies, So it's a pastime. It's something to do while we socialize, I was one of those people that didn't give Shannon the chance she deserved. Sometimes my radar is off, and it was off with her. Something she said in her videos really changed my mind about her. Yeah, and I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that, Foodie painted this whole picture of her, which wasn't very flattering to begin with. And then, she was going through so much. So, she didn't really respond as well as she could have in the moment because she was going through so much, And now that all of that has calmed down and she's coming through the other side of things, it makes a huge difference. I almost relapsed for the first time and called my brother, who took me to a meeting and to church. Then I got the best job ever, even though I complain sometimes. It's a really good job. Well, and I'm glad you didn't. And I'm glad your brother was there to help you out because, if something happened to you, you would have been missed. You're cuckoo crazy just like me. We need you here, Vanessa. I'm so that's good to hear. Exactly. It's exactly. And all we got to do is say the right thing at the right time to poke and get the response that we're looking for. That's a shame. Foodie Foodie is specifically, she's like a living voodoo doll. All you got to do is poke just a little bit at the right thing and it just, it's hysterical. Agreed, 100%. You're a fact channel where we hang out together. Right. See, and that's really I think is a better descriptor than, reaction channel, but that's just me. You do. You're very funny. You may not be trying to be, but, you are. That's another thing that I like about the people that have found their way in here. There are a lot of really funny people in here. Some of the stuff that you guys say just flat sends me. I'm not going to tell a lie. Oh. Y'all, we have been at it for 3.5 hours and it doesn't feel like it's been that long. Holy moly. Thank you, Hannibal. I don't really see myself as being funny. I mean, or at least, in my mind, I think I only get that response really when I'm not trying to be funny. Just the way I say something just comes across that way. If that makes sense. I actually got told, like, by one of my exes that I'm not funny when I'm trying to be funny. So that's part of where I get that thought process from, I guess. Yeah, it's wild. It is totally wild. I mean, we get how many times have we gone like off in left field and then turn around and come back? I mean, it happens. True enough. But realistically, if you'll think about this, I mean, I would have to probably put that on like a day when I know that I don't have anything going on. And you guys would probably have to contend with me going, all right, I'm hungry. I'm going to get food. Y'all are just going to have to deal with me eating. And I don't want you guys to have to look at me eating. I mean, like the popcorn thing in the movie, I could get away with that because it was a little piece of something and I don't want to be trying. I do not want to be one of the cows chewing with my mouth open, so. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm so glad y'all find it charming. I am also very funny. You are funny. You have your moments, Panda. Just like everybody. Well, I think Vanessa, that you're just tuned into my humor, and that's why you think I'm hilarious. I'm sure it would be much more pleasant than the two peppers. Maybe, I don't know. I don't really think so, but I just really think it's really rude to chew with your mouth open or to be talking with your mouth full of food. That's why, like, you guys know, like when I take those videos, I am literally just like, ugh, the whole time I'm editing them down, simply because I do not want to have to subject you guys to all of that because it grosses me out. Ooh, hang on. Huh. Let's see. Well, I mean, you've seen a squirrel, we're just throwing stuff over. True enough. It's not doing army-sized dried rice. No, hell no. Okay. So, I mean, you wouldn't really have... I will tell you this. If you guys did ever get to that point where I did ever eat anything on camera, you guys would not have to worry about that. I can only eat maybe 8 ounces at a time, I don't even want to hear mouth noises when I'm eating. Yeah, well, I mean, I'll tell you what I've noticed. I can listen to animals eat, and it's cute. But when people do it, it irks the fuck out of me. I love my brother, Daniel, but Daniel is very when he eats. And I literally have to tell him, bro, will you please close your mouth? And he's not doing it on purpose. He doesn't even really realize that he's doing it. Yeah. It's the ceiling fan that you're hearing, Panda. I have it on high. Hang on. I turned it up on high because I had a little flash earlier. When it's going wide open like that, it has like a tendency to kind of rock just a tad, and that's what you were hearing. Sorry about that. Yeah, see, I don't. I'll give you an example. All right. Anybody seen any of these videos? This is called Kitten ASMR. See, I don't mind this. This is cute. This is not even close to the sounds that a human makes when they're smacking. Look at the baby, bless it. Him kind of looks like my boo man, just not as fluffy when he was a baby. Oh, the watermelon one is great. Y'all listen to that motor. Oh, listen to his little motor idling. Listen to that motor idling. He's so cute. I love it. And I love that they're all black babies. Did you hear the babies on TV? Did you think somebody else was getting your attention? Here's Mama's. Say hi, Mama. Say hi, Mama. Tearing that rind up, too. Let's see what else we got. Chicken nuggies. Aww. You see the kitty on the TV, Mama? You see that? You see that, baby? You see that, baby? I see you. You're a sweet baby. I know. She's a sweet angel. Yes, she is. She's a sweet angel. Oh, my God, a chicken. ALR could never. That baby say, that my chimkin. Ooh, he got some food aggression. I did not know that. And see, that is just weird to me. She's a very sweet girl too. She's hers a little ham. I call her our channel mascot because it never fails. I come in here and I get on live with you guys, and at some point she's like right here every time. The kitten, hands down, no question. Even with the food aggression, the kitten still did it better. But see what I mean though? Like the kittens and like dogs and stuff, like even cows. I can deal with that sound. That's cute. I can handle that. But people, it's like, God, dog. Right. Just makes my skin crawl. Right. It's kind of like off of the clumps. Give me some of that. You gonna reach your hand in here and pull back a nub. Let's see. And then there's this one. I'll have to show you guys this one in a minute. Not even remember with the bucket of chicken, she wouldn't give it back to Sonny. Yeah. And then this one right here. This video right here has 103 million views, y'all. It is wild.
Hello. Fancy.
Whoop. Wait. Back up. Do y'all remember this video? This video was posted 16 years ago, and it has 103 million views. Right. And the fact that and I know it's actually been proven that, you know, the meowing that they do with us is only meant for us, and that they don't do that really back and forth with each other. They do a lot of the trilling and stuff like in this video. And I mean, they have their own entire language that we are just flat not privy to. And right. You okay? Yeah, I'm okay. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm okay. But that was 16 years ago, you guys. Those little babies are already over the Rainbow Bridge, and probably still having whole conversations as we speak. Right. They absolutely do. And then I'll tell you, that's why it's so funny to me why it is that Foodie doesn't seem to understand why the people online react the way they do about BBJ and about Julia and all of it. It's like, do you not understand that these are the purest of pure creatures? That they love you with everything that is them. You are their all. And you're treating them like they're nothing. And that's why people are pissed. And it's just like, the woman is dumb as a box of rocks. Either that or she just doesn't give a fuck, which, I mean, I think it's probably more the second one, you know? Yeah, I just think there's no way in the world that she doesn't have some psychopathy going on. She's mental. I mean, flat mental. Yeah. Yeah. It's not so much about, I don't think she has it really in her to care about anything other than herself. Have a good night, Vanessa. Yes, she is. She absolutely is. And it's insane to me how it is that she can think that she deserves happiness and contentment when she does the things that she does to other people, to animals, to children, all of it. She's a big proponent of karma, but she doesn't seem to acknowledge that that is applicable to her too. I have trouble wrapping my mind how it is that she thinks that she's in like this karma free zone and that she's exempt from it, you know? Before we got into the kitty cat conversation, I looked up Tammy Lemon. And do y'all know that Tammy Lemon hasn't posted anything in 5 months? I'm kind of curious as to what's going on with her. I hope she's okay. She's one of the few that I actually like out of the girl world situation, even though Tammy Lemon is kind of like she's kind of like me. She's kind of an outlier, but I really like Tammy Lemon. Yeah, I think so too. The last video that Tammy Lemon uploaded was she was responding to Shakara. She did a reaction to Shakara, one of Shakara's videos of her. I hope it didn't get too much from her and she decided to give up on things. Awesome. I hope she's doing okay. She absolutely is. Her and Candy, they are both just sweet ladies, and I really, really sincerely wish that the two of them would have some success. Does she? That's great. I would absolutely love for you to send that to me so that I can share that, because she maybe like her stepping off of YouTube is like what made all the difference, because we have had that discussion before that being online and trying to do stuff like that wasn't working for Tammy, and it doesn't work for Amber, and it doesn't work for Foodie. So, I mean, maybe that removing that from the equation is what made all the difference. And if so, that is absolutely amazing for her. I just hope at some point that she'll like shoot like a community post or something saying, "Hey guys, everything is okay," Let me see. Let's see if she's done a community tab. Yeah, see, 5 months ago, she said, sorry for not uploading last week. I really miss you, Lemons, and I'm sorry I had you worried. I'm going through some things at the moment, and I'll update you about them in my next video. I can't promise you when I'll be uploading that video. I'll try to get it done this week. Please don't worry about me. I'm going to be fine. I'm looking forward to uploading again and to read your sweet comments and stories. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate you, Lemons. And that was also 5 months ago. I hope everything's okay with her. I just ate not watching this. Which idiot? Tabbies, is you behind, darling? Oh, how about this for some weird, creepy crap that I did not have any clue about? Did y'all know that rats giggle? I did not know that that was even such a thing. Check this craziness out, y'all. I was just like, what the world? I mean, the weirdest thing I have ever heard.
A tickle can send a rat into a fit of giggles. New research reveals what goes on in a rat's brain during a tickle attack. For Scientific American, this is Catherine Caruso. Scientists knew rats loved to be tickled, especially on their backs and bellies. A tickled rat lets out tiny giggles, too high for us to hear. Special microphones capture the squeaks so they could be replayed in a lower register. Belly and back tickles elicited giggles galore. Tail tickles? Not so much. The rats will chase a researcher's hand for more, and even frolic about in a newly described behavior called joy jumps. But only if the rats are...
I mean, they was saying that, like, obviously that if they're in a state of stress that they don't laugh. They tried that, but isn't that the weirdest thing? I didn't even know that that was possible. Learn something new every day, y'all. See, they're cute, but they kind of wig me out a little bit, you know? Oh. Okay, gang. Oh, my goodness. We have been at it now almost 4 hours. So, and we have covered all of the shenanigans and even some non-tomfoolery and just shot the breeze for a while. They kind of creep me out though. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say we're going to call it. We have gone over a lot tonight. There's been a lot of emotions. There's been a lot of depth. More than I expected. I can tell it's getting close to bedtime for me. So I don't want you guys to be sitting here just staring at me and me staring back at you guys because, you know, it's just one of them things. Yeah, sorry about that. I mean, it sucks to lose. It sucks to lose a baby. But that baby had you, and you love that baby so much, and it knew it too. I have no question. Yeah. Thanks, Grateful. Yeah, see, then it looks like we timed it just right. Hi, Boo. You want to say hi to everybody, Boo Mans? Are you ready for dinner? You ready for dinner? Is that what you're coming to tell me? It's time for dinner, isn't it? Yeah, I know. Can we move the booties? No booties. Okay, so I'm going to go feed this little man because he's telling me it's time for dinner. I love you. Thank you for the sugars. And I'm going to go on to bed. I hope you guys have an amazing night. I thank you so, so much for hanging out with me. I'm so glad you all were here. For those of you guys on the replay, I appreciate you guys too. I'm sorry you guys weren't able to make it. I know there was a lot going on in relation to everybody live streaming. I hope you guys enjoy the catch up. I will see you guys again soon. Maybe later this week, since my plans kind of didn't work out the way they wanted. Keep an eye out. See you guys soon. Bye. Have a good night, y'all.